All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you guys to the MBA Live Trading Workshop. Are you guys excited? Yeah. And so we're getting started. We're a little tad bit late, but we got everything set up. And so everybody that's on Zoom, if you guys can unmute yourselves for 2 seconds, let me know, are you excited about today's workshop?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. We got Trinidad in the building. We've got Australia. We've got quite a few places. I think we got the UK on, Ireland maybe even too. I can't see everybody, but I'm glad you guys are here. Make sure that you mute yourselves, okay? Those of you that are on Zoom, you can see me if you have your window open, but you also can see my screen because we're really going to be working from the screens, okay? And so you can hear me, and I'll be saying a lot of things. And of course, those of you guys that are in the room, you can take your notes, and we'll be ready to go, right? So I'm going to lead us on TradingView for the time being, all right? And I just want to make sure everybody has TradingView up, right? I can see the Zoom over this way. All right, everybody has TradingView up? Yes? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to cut through some time here because we've got a little bit less than what I had planned. So I'm going to expedite some of this stuff, but you guys are fast learners, right? Okay. We're not going to eliminate anything. We're just going to expedite it. Everybody understand the difference? Okay. So what I want to do first is I want you guys to understand what we're going to cover today, all right? We're going to cover 3 basic things as it relates to the market and trading naked, right? Now, that means you are going to be naked when you trade, unless you want to be. You're at home, you can do it how you want to do it. Just don't have your Zoom camera turned. All right? So trading naked basically means that we are looking at price action by itself. Everybody say price action. Right. So we're not going to be using indicators and things like that. Now, I'm not against them. It's just in my personal experience, what has happened is that I've gotten way more confused with indicators than without them. That's just me. Anybody else feel that way? Right? I see them and they make sense to me what it should be doing. But when it's time to go place the trade, it's like, something happens, it falls apart, I don't know. So the ease of that turned out to not be so easy. And so I resulted to really trying to figure out how to trade naked, right? I want to read the price action. I don't care what the indicator is doing. I want to be able to see the patterns of the market. And so I tuned into a couple of master traders on IML TV. Some of you guys might know at least Mr. Oren Wright. You guys know Oren Wright? Yeah. Okay, so Oren is my buddy now, right? He recently moved down from New Jersey to Atlanta, and we run Oren crazy and ragged as much of the time as we can. But he has an amazing heart. So the first thing I want to make sure everybody understands is that what I'm teaching here today is a more in-depth analysis of the way Oren teaches, which means that you can find support in what I'm saying on IML TV. Does that make sense? Yes. So even though you'll get the recording of this and you'll get it, if you now start studying Oren, then you'll see this better and you'll see it more and it'll be consistent with you, okay? So that's the first thing I want to do, is make sure that you know how to support this education. The second thing is that I want everybody to remember, you heard it before, like you can't serve 2 masters. Everybody heard that? We have the blessing and the curse of having 100 educators, right? The blessing is you don't learn just one way, you have multiple different ways. The curse is that you don't know where to start when you've never done this before. So we spent the last year, literally, I've been in this company for a year, I spent the last year trying to dissect who, right? And people on our team, people look at different people and we keep track and who does this, who does that, and we bring it all together and we found certain people that support certain ways of doing things that are for the beginner, right? Now, I'm doing a great job at this point. They segmented, right? You can click on beginner or advanced. It wasn't like that before. But the problem for me that I have is that even if you are a beginner, you can still click on advanced. Yeah. So you can still get caught up in that, and so you still can get overwhelmed. In fact, Oren is under the advanced tab, just so you guys know, under the advanced tab. However, the way that he teaches is very elementary to me. I'm elementary too, like in terms of understanding this, right? So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying that's a good thing because you want to be able to understand it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 3 different things, all right? The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mark up charts, and you've got to understand how to mark up your chart. That's just my personal opinion. Why? Because if you take a swipe trade, or you take a signal from a Telegram group, or you're on Facebook or Instagram and you're just doing whatever you're doing, and you're taking these signals and you don't know how to mark up your chart, you don't know whether the signal is a valid signal or not. How many times do you people say, is it too late to get in? Is it too late to get in, right? Well, why are you asking that? It's because you don't know what price is doing, right? You're just trying to make the money really fast. And I'm guilty of that. That's how I know, right? So we went through a series of correcting some of these things to make sure we understand. So the first thing we're going to do is know how to mark up your chart, and we're going to do that based on supply and demand. I say supply and demand. We're going to trade supply and demand. To me, it's one of the easiest ways, okay, to trade and see price action. The second thing that we're going to do is after we mark up our charts, then you got to know what you're looking for. Because now you got this nice, pretty chart marked up, and now you're like, okay, now what? Right? So now we have to identify entry points, right? How to know how to identify the entry points. Once we identify the entry points, the third thing that we're going to do is now we have to recognize and accept that sometimes we're going to miss that entry point. We just are. You're going to be up all night. It's like as soon as your eyes close, boom, it shoots up, right? You missed it. All right. So if you miss the entry point, then the question is it too late to get in? Well, we're going to go over some Fibonacci stuff, make it real easy so that you can see where to get in on a second or third opportunity. Everybody understand? So we're going to mark up charts first. We're going to find entry points second, and then we're going to find secondary opportunities to get in using Fibonacci and measuring pullbacks, essentially is what we're doing. We're going to be measuring pullbacks, all right? Now, the great thing I believe about this bunch, those of you guys online as well as here, is that the language I'm speaking, you guys understand it, right? Yes. Like I say pullback, you know what I'm talking about. If I say Fibonacci, you know what I'm talking about. Entry points, if I say support, resistance, trend line, if I say candle, if I say wick, okay, if I put the pip, we're all speaking the same language, yes? Okay. For those that may be watching this, maybe the recording, whatever, and you're not familiar with that, you're gonna have to go to IML Academy, okay? This course is not that. We're moving forward into how to actually execute our trades, right? So go back to IML Academy for those of you guys that need to tighten up on your vocabulary. But in the meantime, we're ready to get started, all right? So let's start with this. What pair do you guys want to play with?
Euro USD.
Everybody on this Euro USD. What is it with Euro USD? Okay. GJ. Okay. Everybody wants to do Euro USD over here. So we're going to do Euro USD. Everybody on Zoom, okay? That's where we're going. That is the island we're going to. Euro USD. And what I'm going to do, because I believe that I have Euro USD marked up, I may not. That's not really one of the pairs I really follow, which might be a good thing, because we can just mark it up from scratch. Hold on, guys, it's coming. At some point, it's coming. There we go. Okay. Now, on TradingView, you guys see that there are different brokers that you can use, right? The brokers that are going to give you the best type of pricing would be FXCM, which is like FX Choice. And that's pretty much the only one I would use. You can use other ones, but I would say FXCM. Yes, ma'am. You can do that. You can do them, but yeah. Oanda's pretty good too. Yep. Those will probably be the only two. Yeah, I wouldn't use forex.com so much. I wouldn't use some of those others, okay? So we're gonna, in this case, we're gonna use FXCM. Okay, that's the one I'm on. Now, when you're on TradingView, if you mark up a chart on one broker and then you go to another broker, your markings are not there, right? So if you want to see your markups, you have to remember to stay with the same broker that you marked up your chart on to begin with. That's a big question. People are like, oh, it went away, but that's because you're just not in the same broker, all right? So I'm going to give you guys 5 steps. Say 5 steps. Okay. And I'm going to actually, you guys can see some of this. I'm going to delete that in just a second, okay? I know that you might not be able to read it all the way. Hold on, let's see something. That might be the best. You don't even read it anyway, but you guys can kind of see it, yes? And you got your computer, and I can just use this as a guide. All right, so step 1, everybody write this down. Step 1, you want to pick your pair and go to the daily time frame. And what I'm telling you should be your routine. You know how in the morning when you get up, you have a certain routine generally, right? You do the same type of thing in the morning. Maybe you get up, like for me, I get up, I get brush my teeth, wash my face, I get Josiah's clothes together, get him ironed, everything. Then I wake him up, get his teeth brushed, get his face washed, put his clothes on, I put my clothes on, we grab all the stuff and we're out, I'll grab a little snack and we're out the door. That's my routine every single day, right? These 5 steps, I want you to follow them in the same order every single time you do something. The reason is because you will build a regimen for how to do this versus randomness. And we don't need randomness. We already have enough issue with just trying to learn it. So let's create some order, okay? So whenever you go to a chart, whatever pair it is, you're gonna do what first? Pick your pair, go to the daily chart. We're gonna mark up on the daily. The reason we're marking on the daily, sometimes we'll mark up on the weekly. It depends on how active the pair is, all right? The reason why we're marking on the daily is because it gives us a bigger picture. It's like if you're in an airplane and you're 30,000 feet in the air, you can see more of Atlanta. If I then come down and I go to the top of the King and Queen building, I can see less of Atlanta. I'm still high, but I can't see all of Atlanta. So if you're making decisions from the King and Queen building, you're missing something. All right, so you have to go up higher. So the daily is gonna give us a broader perspective. So sometimes, like you're gonna have down here, right? You can see this is May 6th, is that right? Where are we at? Yes, July 18 right here, right? June last year, then we're the year before that, on and on, right? You can see more of the days on the daily, all right? Second thing that we're going to do is, after you have your daily and you have your pair pick, what you're gonna do is now you're gonna find your high and your low. Everybody say find the high and the low. Find the high and the low. I like to use the examples of sports because most people, even if you don't understand all the intricate details of the actual sport, you know that there's a court or a field that people are playing on, right? And if you see a football field, everybody knows there's a line that designates out of bounds, right? There's a line, if you're sitting in the stands, there's a line on the other side of the field, right? A white line, and there's a line on your side of the field that if the player is running left to right as you're watching, if they step on this line, they're out of bounds, right? So if you think about this as being our field, the high and the low, that's like a top out of bounds and a bottom out of bounds, okay? Just conceptually. Price can go outside the line, but you're trying to play within the lines, right? I'm saying like we're trading in a zone. You might have to. You might have to. So for example, we pull up Euro USD. In fact, let me erase everything on my chart here. Hold on. Okay, so I've erased everything on my chart, right? I'm on the daily. Now, really what you want to do is you want to see what you can see inside your window, okay? But if something doesn't make sense, for example, let's say you're in your window and all you see is this, right? Okay, you know that's not the high because you see there's something over here. You guys see what I'm saying? You know that's not right. Is it the high within what you see? Yes, but is that the high? No. So you're gonna have to go back, all right? So now you're gonna go back, and as you go back, you see something like that. Now you see price coming from down, creating a high. Y'all see that? So now we have a high. We can see a high, and where we are right now, this is what I like to do. Wherever price currently is right around, still I want to go back because this is the most recent low. That doesn't mean that's the low. It's the most recent low. So I still like to go back just to see if there's another low. It's just like a double check. Is that a low? Yes. But all of this data back here came from somewhere already. So let's see if we can find another low, right? Until you find the low. Right? This is why I say sometimes you might need to go to the weekly, right? So you can see more. All right. You guys see where we are now? See that? You can clearly see a high and a low now, can't you? You clearly see a high, we can clearly see this is the low, and we can clearly see that's the high, and price is now in between the two. You guys see that? Okay? So when we're on our high and our low, what you're gonna do on your trading view is you are now gonna go over and get you a horizontal line. Go get you a horizontal line. For the sake of this, I'm gonna make my line white so everybody can see it. I'm gonna make it kind of thick. All right. You guys know how to get a horizontal line? On trading view, everybody know how to get a horizontal line? Gonna mute you guys out, okay? All right, so boom. Now, the high is gonna go at the typical width. Why? Because that's the highest place price went. Did it stay there and did it close there? No. But did it go there? Yes. Which means that it could potentially do what? Go there again. And wouldn't you want to know that? Okay. So that is going to be the high. Okay. Then you're going to grab you a horizontal line. And you're going to put yourself a line at the bottom of that wick, which is going to denote your what? Your low. Now we're playing a game within a boundary. You see that? It's not randomness, it's within a boundary.
So if you go back a day on the chart, and you shrink it down, but you see another high that was probably that 2007. Is that considered to be a high?
It's not, no, because that's too far, right? Because this low, this is 2017. That's good enough for now, right? For what we're doing. Yeah, we don't need to go all the way to 2007.
It's actually 14.
Could you put it like, here's the thing. There's an art and then there's a science to it, right? Now look, see if I scroll over, this line is still being supported over here. You guys see that? So, and then it's coming from up there. So it came down, it consolidated pretty much, right? All of this is weekly now, right? It hit this line and it went back up. I'm okay with that being a low.
Okay.
Like it's a comfortability level for you, right? Now, if you're uncomfortable, if you feel like price is just gonna drop, then just put on a line somewhere. But for me, I'm okay with this because where price is right now. Where price is right now is that we're in between that line. So we've got some time to go before it would break through that line. You understand? This is a weekly chart. Weeks. We're in the middle. It can take weeks, right? You're okay. So we go back to the daily chart. You could still zoom in a little bit if you wanted to, right? And you can see it there still. Right, everybody comfortable with that? Okay, step one is what? Daily chart. Step two is what? Okay, step three is we are going to look for bullish and bearish engulfing candles. Okay, we're looking for bullish and bearish engulfing candles. Why? Because we're trading supply and demand, remember? So we're looking for a big bullish candle to come from the bottom and go up. And then we're going to be looking for big bearish candles to come from the top coming down. Now at the bottom of our chart, guys, this is when we find the bullish engulfing candles, that's going to be our demand zone. Everybody say demand zone. Everybody understand supply and demand. Okay, if there are a lot of US flags available and there are virtually no buyers, what happens to the price of the flag? It goes down. We have more supply than we do the demand, right? The people would indicate the demand, the product indicates the supply. So if we have more flags than we do buyers, we got to drop the price. That's a supply zone, right? Price, we've got more than what we can't get it off, right? We've got to sell it. So price has to what? Drop. It has to drop so that we can now pick up more buyers. So while it's dropping, people are selling off. Selling. And who we're talking about, really? The banks, the hedge funds. We're not talking about me and you. We're talking about the big boys and girls, right? What the bullish and bearish engulfing candles designate are that if you're on the daily chart, because you can see them on an hourly chart, but it's not a big move. It looks like a big move on the hourly chart, but if you go to the daily chart, it's a little bit okay. If you're on a daily chart or a weekly chart and you see a big candle, that's a real move. That means the bank has done something. And we would think about it like this. If you're in an ocean and you're in a little bitty old rowboat and you have a big ocean liner that comes past, doesn't it make sense to let the ocean liner go past with all its power and you find a way to get in their wave? And you ride their wave because you don't have as much power, but you're getting where you need to go. Does that make sense? The bank pushes the market a certain way, and what are we going to do? Ride the wave. We're not making the move. We're going to catch the move. Everybody understand that? So that's why we have to wait until we see the bullish or bearish engulfing candle. All right? So let's find these candles. Now, real fast. What kind of candle are we looking for down here?
Bearish.
No, bulls. We want to push up, right? And what kind of candle are we looking for at the top? Bearish. Bearish engulfing, okay? Let me explain what an engulfing candle is. Josiah. And I like this example because Oren does this example, right? Because he's short. You guys ever see Oren? I'm tall, but Oren still is short. We're just like, come here, come Okay, right here. So now, Josiah is a candle. Set him straight. You're a blue candle, I'm a red candle. Okay. So he's a candle and I'm a candle. You see how his whole body can fit into my whole body? I am a bullish engulfing candle. This is what an engulfing candle looks like. Right? Everybody get it? Yes. The whole body of the previous candle has to fit inside of the next candle. In other words, if you're looking at your chart, you want the candle to your left to be smaller than the candle to the right. And the candle to the left, the whole body of the candle must fit inside of the candle to the right. Right? We clear on what bullish and bearish engulfing is.
The wicks
The wicks are just going to help us as guidelines, but we're looking for the full body. because the body represents where Christ opened and closed. So we want the Christ to open and want the Christ to close within the opening and closing of the big candle. Okay? So where we're going to start is we're going to start in our bottom area. So we're going to start here, and we're going to kind of just move our way this way, that way, until we find this bullish engulfing candle. It's not going to always be exactly at the line. Like some people are like, that's a good example right here. Right? So Lawrence has it. Right? Do you guys see? Bullish, that's what I'm saying, right? The whole body. But those of you guys on the internet, hold on. Y'all know. Y'all can Google it on the internet. You can Google it, right? Just in case. See? They don't have to be even. The whole body just needs to be inside of it. But a lot of times it is going to be even. All right? So now what's going to happen is we're going to start our search down here. And we're just going to find in all of these different candles where we can see a bullish engulfing, right? So I'm going to zoom out and scoot over. Okay. At the bottom here. Okay. Now, I see a couple. Do you guys see any? Bullish engulfing. Who sees one? Okay, come up. Let me see.
All right, don't take me a second.
Is that included in the wick as well?
No.
Just the body.
Just the body. We've got a volunteer coming, okay? So show me a bullish engulfing. That is a bullish engulfing. Everybody agree? Yes. That is a bullish. Show me another bullish engulfing. That is a bullish engulfing. Okay? Come closer this way to me and show me another bullish engulfing. That is a bullish. Everybody see that? Yes. There's multiple bullish engulfing candles.
Yeah. That second one he did, it looks like it came down after the.
Here's one.
That's one,
Right? But we're looking for demand, right? So this is a bit, now here's the thing, sometimes the candle looks small, right? Like this green candle, this bull candle looks small. If you are unsure if that qualifies, even though it's engulfing, but it looks small, it's got to be at least 50 or more pips, that one candle. So you can measure that candle. If that candle is 20 pips, don't mess with it. If the candle is at least 50 pips, 50 to 100 pips, that's a, you know.
Oh, the daily chart.
On the daily. That means in one day the market went up 100 pips. That's a move. 50 to 100 pips, right, or more, right? So if we looked at that candle and I measured that candle, y'all see that? It's like 38 pips. This candle right here. So I personally wouldn't leverage that as the bullish engulfing.
The one that he pointed out before that one, after you see the bullish engulfing candle, turns into bearish candles. But it didn't retest. You wait till it retests before.
Well, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet. Okay? That's okay. We're not there yet. Okay? So I would probably, I mean, even here, like this zone, I would probably work with this one. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Here? Oh, yes, that's one. I didn't even see that one. Perfect. That's a perfect, that's exactly, so the ideal scenario is that you can find it somewhere in the lowest area. if you can't find them in the lowest area, sometimes price plays around. It's like a fake out down there, right? And it comes back. So if we can find it down here, that's gonna give us a little bit more confirmation, all right? So does everybody see the bullish engulfing, the one we're talking about right here? The date is October, what is it, October 28th, 29th? 28th is the bull, is the red candle, 29 is the bull candle. Right here. Okay, online, does everybody see the bullish engulfing candle I'm talking about?
What day are we in?
That is October, no, I'm sorry, December, sorry, December. Lord, I can't read. December 28th and December 29th are the two candles we're looking at. This is of 2016. Everybody see that? Okay. On the daily. Can you help her out? Okay. Everybody got the bullish engulfing candle? All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do, as On Right says, we're gonna box it up like Chinese takeout. Okay? So you're gonna go over to your tools and you're gonna get a box, a rectangle box. In order to get that over here, you've got, oh, you can't see it.
This is December 16th.
December, yes. Hold on.
2017.
Okay. You guys see your tools right here, right? This one looks like a little brush. Click on the arrow next to the brush, and then you'll see a rectangle. Grab your rectangle. Now, the way that I like to do it is once I click the rectangle, you're going to then have, and mine is up here. The settings for that rectangle, on yours it may be somewhere else on your screen. Just kind of depends on how things are set up for you. But you guys see what I'm talking about, right? I'm gonna drag it down because I can move it. You can move it. See right here? Oops, not that. This. Y'all see that? Where it looks like you can change the colors. In the demand zone, because that's where we are, I like mine to be green. Because in my chart, green represents the bulls. Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're now going to take our box and we're gonna start at the top of the candle in front and go down to the bottom. So in other words, we're gonna grab the body of this bull, of this bear candle, right in front of the bullish engulfing. And you're going to box it, okay? You guys getting this online? You boxing it? All right. No ma'am, just the bottom.
So
You got it?
we're doing both candles.
Well, you're boxing up the red candle,
Okay.
but it's going to cross through.
Okay, the first
Correct.
candle. I got you.
The candle that's being in gold is what you're, the small one. The body of the small one. Yes, this is your candle you're looking at right here? This red, this blue? Yes. So there you go. So you're gonna box it like that, exactly right. You got it? This your candle right here? Yep, you got it. But wait a minute. Your low is still, where's your low? Is this red line your low? Your low should be at the bottom of the wick. Your lows are at the bottom of the wick, guys. The low is at the bottom of the wick. Remember what I said? Price could still come down there because it did that before. If you put in a buy, for example, and you don't know that this wick is down here, you're going to go negative. You don't even know why you're going negative.
So, yeah.
You do not include the wick when we box it. I was just
Okay.
making her low more accurate. Side. Okay, now that you have the box, we need to extend the box. So if you click on the box, and if you go up to the wheel up there in your settings, that wheel, some of you guys know how to double click. You can double click it, the box, that's fine. Or you can click the wheel for the settings. When you click those settings, you want to see coordinates. You guys see that? And what we want to do is we want to extend this box all the way into the future, and we want to extend this box all the way into the past. Why? Because we don't want to have to keep marking up this chart every day, do we? If we can just extend this zone all the way out into the future, that means this time next month, when you look at Euro USD, you still should know where the demand zone is at, right? Okay, so the way that we're going to do that is in the top, okay, you see what says price and then bar. Hold on. Right here, this bar, take the negative out. If you have a negative there, take the negative out, and then at the end of that, put like 2 more ones. We don't know how far in the future it's going, it's just going far. Okay, it doesn't matter, just goes far. Okay, go down to the second one, leave the negative there, and you can put 2 more ones. So now this bar is extended years probably this way, and now years that way. Everybody saying that? She's making that face, hold on. Okay. All right, let's workshops now. Okay. All right, so where's your wheel? Oh, your wheel. No, okay, yeah. Yeah, but that's, no. That's not the wheel. Yeah. Cancel that. Okay, click on your box. Click on the box. Now you got the wheel. Oh, okay. Click on the box. Now we come over to coordinates. And now you're going to take that negative out at the top. Take it out. And then put like a 1, 1 at the end. So 1, 3, 7, 1, 1. Okay, now come down, leave the negative there because I don't want it to pass, and put a 1, 1 at the end. That's all the other way. Coordinates. Okay, so you have to, if you're on the line, you have to click on the box. There you go. Click on the corner of the box. Okay, now. There you go, right here. There. Take the negative off the top one, put 2 1s at the end. 2 1s at the end, just 1 1. Okay, and then keep the negative at the bottom, and then put a 1 1 at the end. Okay, now fix your box so that it's back to the engulfing. And you might want to make it more transparent so you can see. Okay, so click on the box. Just come and try to click on the top line. Okay, there you are. Click on the port, click on the wheel. Oh, I'm sorry. You can now see right here? More transparent. Or whatever it is. Uh-oh, is it working? Okay, click.
Double click on the line, hit start. Just double click on the hit start. Go to that. Get that bottom. Oh,
There you go. Perfect. Okay. Oh, thanks, Jamie. Okay, everybody got the box. Okay, online, y'all have the box. Okay. So, what this represents is what? No. Demand zone. Demand, right? Okay, remember I gave you an example of what supply zones are. Demand is, oh my God, my realtors, right? Oh my God, we don't have enough houses, but this is a buyer's market. When it's a buyer's market, right, and it's not enough houses, what happens to price? It goes up. That's why it's demand zone. At the demand zone, price goes up. Right? It creates bidding wars. This one 10,000 square foot house is for sale. I got 5 people that want the house. I'm starting here, and whoever give me the highest, that's what I'm gonna go. That's demand. You understand? Demand is when you have more people than product. Supply is when you have more product than people. Okay? It's like our basic economic stuff that we didn't really realize was important because we didn't use it until now. We're like, oh, I remember that. Okay? So demand zone. So what happens usually when price hits a demand zone? It bounces off and goes back. That's just what it usually does, which is why we want to know where it is. So if you're looking at price and you see it heading towards a demand zone, you already know in your mind, based on some things we're going to talk about in a few minutes, that price just might get in this demand zone and turn around and come back up. So ultimately, you need to wait and see what it's going to do, right? Okay, so everybody have demand zone. And now if you go back to where price currently is right now, oops. If I zoom out a little bit more, we got a wow. Look at this. You see, look, we got a wow before price hits that demand zone. You see that? But we know, at least we have a boundary. Dump the market up again. Now, sometimes some stuff happens, your chart might get blanked out, but this is why we're going with it, so you know what to do if you do it again, right? 100% no, but you know what to do, okay? So now you know that's a boundary. So now let's do the same thing at the top. Let's go ahead and let's create our what? Supply zone. So now we see our high point, right? And we're looking for what kind of candle? Bearish engulfing candle. All right? So who wants to come show me a bearish engulfing candle? Come on, Bonnie. Let me drag this chart down some. Go, Bonnie, go, go, Bonnie, go. There you go. Everybody see that? Yes. Bearish engulfing candle. Do you see another bearish engulfing candle? Yep, that's one. Do you see another one? That's one. Here's one too. Yeah. Okay, so you guys see there's multiple. Okay?
Now, this one wouldn't count because it's got that little bitty red one.
Right, let me make this point. An engulfing candle is designated by the previous candle being the opposite color, number one. Okay, so you're not going to have an engulfing candle where both candles are red. And you're not going to have an engulfing candle where both candles are green. Price has to have been in the previous candle going the opposite direction, right? And then the bank moves, boom, sell off, right? Or boom, buy. Okay?
Well, we're looking for the highest point.
The highest that we can find, yes. So if we see this one, that's better because it's closer to our high, right? It's closer. But are these still zones that you could mark? The answer is yes, because price could still move in those zones. And wouldn't you want to know if this was still an area where price was selling off? In other words, price could come up to an area that's also a supply zone, like right here. You see that? It can come up here and it could drop back down. Why? Because that's still a supply zone right there, even though our main supply zone is up here. That's still an area where banks sold off. Like they might sell off in, you guys know how like real estate, right? The reason I do, because I have a background in real estate too. But so when you have big developers, right? They might sell off or buy chunks at a time, right? It doesn't mean because they bought one chunk, they're not gonna buy another chunk, or they sold one chunk, they're not gonna sell another chunk. It's just, right now I sold off 20 lots. Right, now we're gonna see what's going on, we're gonna have the people develop it, okay? Now we're gonna sell off another 30 lots. Those are still supply zones, but we have to get through this phase first. Phase 2, new development, phase 1, phase 2, you guys see what I'm saying? Okay, so that's kind of this right here. Price could come here, right, supply zone, especially if that's over 50 to 100 pips, right? In this supply zone right here, this candle, in this particular area, in the daily, oh, this candle only 26 pips, that don't count. All right, this candle that we were just looking at that Bonnie pointed out for us, 100 pip candle. Look at that, right? Does that qualify? Yes, it does, all right? So now we're gonna box this up like Chinese takeout, stop, Josiah, as well. But this time I like to use my reds, right? Just because it's the supply. So now we're gonna box up the green candle in front of it. The body of the green candle, okay? Your box goes around the body of the green candle. We have a high up here, gives us a marker, but we're boxing up the supply zone. Okay. Then,
What was the date of that one?
this candle date, February. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double click, hold on. I'm gonna double click on my box and I'm gonna extend it out. Or you can click your settings. Remember, on one of them, you have to have negative, all right? Or else it won't go in the past. Josiah, do you have your supply zone marked up? Okay.
Do you do your horizontal line at the top since you're filling it? You know, the bottom you do it green.
Just my high and my low?
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Personally, because that is just, it's just almost like a support resistance.
Right.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Listen, if you have waves, colorways that make it easy for you to see it, if you want to do that so you know, hey, this is a high of my supply, go ahead and make whatever color. As long as you have the right line, I don't care what color. Okay? People do things, different colors, different lines, different whatever, so it's whatever. I just want you guys to get the framework of what we're doing. Okay? How y'all doing online with the supply zone? Good? Let me see. Let me look at the chat. You're good? Okay, chat, everybody's good? Great, you're following? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Got it? Supply zones, supply zones. You got it, Mom? Supply zones? Almost, you getting it though. There you go. Okay. Then you come up here. Yes. You go sit down there. Here, click on the corner, or hover over the corner. Well, click out if you're clicking on something. Okay, click in the white. Okay, now come over here. So you back on the box. Okay, click. Okay, now come over here and hover over. There you go. That circle. Click on that circle. All right, now come over here to the settings. Oh wait, you got it. Yeah. Cancel. You're right. You got to have it lying. Okay, now come up to this circle. And drag it up. Okay, now come over to your settings. Okay. Okay, coordinates. There you go. Well, she can leave that one, and then the negatives you can put at the bottom. As long as one of them is negative. And then put a 1 or something at the end. Perfect. Wait. There you go. Now, bam! Got it. Okay, you got it? All right. Patrick, you got it?
Oh, okay. Can't do it as well.
It's right here.
You did velvet. So you can sort of say what you said. Okay. Everybody got your class on now? Y'all good? Happy? Thumbs up? Okay. I don't see the exact date, but it looks okay. Everybody, they're good. They're good. Okay, follow along. Perfect. Okay. So now we have supply and demand zones. That was step number what? 3, right? Yeah. All right. We got 2 more steps, y'all. We almost done with this part. Step number 4 is now we have to do our support resistance. Everybody say support resistance.
Support resistance.
Our support resistance that we're most concerned with would be between our supply and demand zones, right? Don't we want to know where price is consolidating or pulling back and all of that? Don't we want to know that? Yes. Yes, we do. So the easiest way to identify that is go over to your line chart. Now, the way you do that is you see this icon up there, looks like the 2 candles. Y'all see that? If you click on that, if you click on that, it'll give you an option to go to a line. Choose line. See this right here? Click on that, and when you click on it, it'll let you choose line. Now, your line chart, ladies and gentlemen, does not include wicks, which is okay because we're looking for where price opened and closed at. You understand? This is support resistance. So what makes something a support or resistance line is at least 2 touches. So price needs to touch it at least twice, right? So if we're going to start at the top and work our way down, right? Or start at the bottom and work our way up, I suggest doing one or the other, not trying to do it all in the middle and going all crazy. Your brain is not going to process that. Okay? So let's just start at the top and work our way down for the sake of this. All right? So we're going to start at the top. We can already see that the top of our box is really a support resistance level, isn't it? You guys see what I'm saying? If you ever need to check your work, then it should match. Okay? If you are at the wick for this, it would be higher than that. You understand what I'm saying? So we've got 2 touches at least on that top line there, right? Good, okay. I just like to grab white lines. You guys can grab whatever color line you want to designate your support resistance. But I'm just gonna grab a white line, okay? And I'm just going to kind of take my time and gradually look for areas where price is touching a couple times. Now look at this line right here. I'm going to make these a little bit thinner. Hold on so you can see them. Oops. And I'm going to tell you what I look for. And everybody's chart is going to be a little bit different here, okay? Because you see what you see, okay? Now, why I like this line is because you see how this point hit here? It was a support line right here, wasn't it? But it was a resistance line right here, wasn't it? See that? It came through, it crossed over, but then it was a major resistance. You see that? It hit that line and dropped. So if I can find areas that it's touching at least 2 times, but especially where it's a support and a resistance line, that's a major level. Okay? So keep going. Okay, at home, are you guys doing okay getting your support resistance done? Now, sometimes you might need to move your chart over some, right? If you're not sure about a level, move your chart over. There's price doing something somewhere in the past. You don't have to go too far in the past, but somewhere in there. Both. You're looking for peaks and valleys. Now, let me just also say this. Here's a clue, an idea. Okay, remember we're looking at the daily chart, right? One way to train your eye is if you look, for example, on the daily, down here, for example, right? Price went down here and it went up, and then it turned around and then it went up again, right? If you look at this area where it went up before it turned around, look left and right to see where else price did that. Right? Your major, like it went from here to here, then back down to here, then up to here. Y'all see that? It's kind of like it's just like a little wave. Look at those waves right here. Here, and ultimately it went all the way up to here, but in between it went here, here, that little one maybe, but it went here, right? It went down here. When it came down here, did it come down here again? Yes, over here. You see what I'm saying? So you'll see some things, you won't see some things. It's the daily. I will tell you that when you mark up on the daily, remember what I said, it's only designed to give you an aerial perspective, okay? When you actually start placing your trades, you're gonna probably be down on the 1 hour. We'll get into that. But this is giving us our boundaries so that we know where we are within the 1 hour. If we're in the 1 hour, we don't know whether we're coming up on a supply zone or not. That could hurt us, okay?
You look for areas where they touch at least twice, right?
That is correct. Where price touches a peak, a valley at least twice. Y'all want a Euro USD? You got Euro USD. Oh no. Everybody wanted it. Yep, you can have a lot of lines, Euro USD, it moves.
So what is your favorite?
I like GU, I like GJ, and I like GA. Jamie loves Euro USD. He loves crypto too, so.
I like that too. Yeah. You like talking,
See, this is the work nobody wants to do. How many of y'all actually been doing this every time before you take a trade? You understand what I'm saying? This is what I mean about the prerequisites. Right? That's what I was saying that day.
This intense. I did like May,
Yes, sir. No. Because I got this line here, and that one. And it's a little bit of a switch right there, but that's the main one. That was as long as they're touching 2 points, remember you're on the daily. When you go down, you're not gonna see them as much. They're gonna be far in between, you know? More so. But I'm telling you, it's better to have your lines on your chart so that you know where price is moving than not have your lines. If you don't have your lines, that price could turn on you. You don't know why it turned, right? You didn't have it marked up. If you just have lines everywhere and they're not touching, they're not meeting the rules, that might be too many. But if they're meeting the rules, then trust your gut. Josiah, did you mark up your support resistance? Did you mark up your support resistance lines? Okay.
oh, wow. You create many lines.
Yes, sir. This your money.
For the daily. Okay.
Now this is me because I like accuracy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how meticulous you are. I'm meticulous. I want to, even if I don't take the trade, I want to have an idea of what it's doing, right? But see, I'm almost there now, right? Ooh, hallelujah! I almost up to the man zone. Okay, you too, buddy. Yeah, just in between the zones. That's all we're focused on. Y'all tired yet? Ooh, like y'all been running 2 miles. Okay. That's probably okay. All right. Now, just looking at this, right? Just looking at this, and you see price, the market's closed right now, but you see price, what it's doing. What do you think could potentially happen at what the price is getting ready to do right now? Orange, I told him, Smother, can you call Orange for me? He can read too. So 4.
And he can read.
Oh yeah. I just told y'all I'm meticulous. When he was 4 months old, I started him on your baby can read at 4 months. I was just letting him sit in his rocker and watch the information and internalize it. So in school now, he's reading. His teachers are like, oh my God. Like, you gotta watch your phone, anything, he reading. Okay. Look, hide your phone. You gonna know your business now. Okay, so we're saying, hey, look what price already, what is it doing? It already broke past that previous line, right? The one right above it, see that? At least on my chart, right? And it's going down. Now, it can do one or two things. Let's look what it did before, right? What did it do before? Last time price hit this line, what did it do? Bounced up, bounced up. Last time over here hit this line, it broke through, right? So we know we need to be looking at this line, don't we? If you're doing something with Euro USD, you know you need to be looking at this line. We'll talk about what to look for in a second, but everybody got it, at least got the gist of what we're doing. Okay. All right, that's the hard part. That part is hard. Okay, online, y'all got y'all support resistance lines done. Okay. Let me go over here to the chat. Let me check out everybody in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody's good on the chat. Awesome. Awesome. You guys following along. Is this making sense? Hopefully you're taking notes, right? Remember what I said. You're gonna do the same regimen every single day. If you want to choose a new pair, you got to go through these 5 steps. Or you can just stick with a pair or 2 that you have and just run your check every day. You don't have to do this every day. You mark this up and it's done. You mark this up, it's done. That's why we've extended our lines forever and all this stuff, right? As Oren says, the lines will make sense in the future. Right? It'll make sense in the future. Why? Because price is going to start showing us it's going to be respecting these lines. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, dang, I thought y'all was going to get Orange today. He lives so far, though. The boonies. Okay. Shanika says, mark it up, forever yours. That's right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is you can come back to your candles. Go back up there. Go back up here and go back to your candles. Now, when you go back to your candles, it's to start looking like it's making some sense to you. Y'all see that? You can see what price is doing. I can see clearly this thing went down to this wick and turned around, right? So you know how sometimes people like perfect entry, right? Wick entry. How you getting a wick entry? Because I have a line right here that told me that's probably where it's going to turn around at. Now, could you put in an order right here? Yes, and go negative a little bit and still benefit on the buy? Yes, but somebody like me, I'm trying to wait and minimize that risk. I just want to minimize the risk. Do you have to? No. If your account is $200 million and you don't care about that, then fine. But most people starting out with smaller accounts, $500, $1,000, whatever, $20, $10. If you're on a $10 account, does it matter whether you get in here or here?
Yes.
Yes, it does. A $50 account, does it matter whether here or here? Yes. So it matters. So you learn your discipline with the smaller accounts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, I don't know. I'm just saying. It matters. All right? So we've got support resistance done. Step number, what number are we on? 5? 5. We're going to track the market. Say track the market. So that means we're going to draw trend lines. Okay, we're going to have two major trend lines. Now, you can still draw other trend lines in between, but we're gonna draw our major trend lines based on and relative to where price is right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look starting at the top, right? Starting at the top. And ideally, we wanna look for our high point, right? Price went to this point and then it started making its way which way? Down. So we're gonna draw us a trend line down. In the middle of drawing the trend line down, you're gonna recognize that price got a little bit steeper in here, didn't it?
Yes.
So that means if we draw a trend line from up here, down at this angle, so I'll probably do like this, right?
Yeah.
But then you'll see sometimes people draw a trend line from here, down like this, right? Because you're still trying to gather where price is going and where the breathing room, essentially, right? The breathing room. So we're gonna start with our outer trend line, okay? Now the way I like to draw the trend lines, over here on the side, that same little one where you get your horizontal line, this line right here, if you click over on the arrow and you go down to the ray, okay, click on the ray, what will happen is you don't have to draw the line. You just get to point and click, which makes life a lot easier, right? So now, if I've got me a point and click line, I've got the line, and y'all see how it's doing like this, right? So we're gonna start more horizontal. So you click it at your top point, and you start horizontal, and you start dragging your line down, and the first point that it touches is where you stop. Probably right there. Because of this little right here. So I started up here, and I drug the line down until I touched the very first point, which happened to be this one. Got it? See it? No? Nope, this line right here. Click on the arrow. Not the line, click on the arrow. Okay. You're going to be dragging across the center. And it'll give you a chance to
Make it easy.
Now drag your ray down to the first point. Start like this. Start horizontal like this, right? You're gonna come down. Looking at it, give me a high price. Tell me when I touch something. Yeah. Stop. Done. Okay. Y'all got it? So this line is like the main trajectory that we're gonna probably reach, right? Price hit here, but then we drop so steep that we're probably gonna stay here, we're probably gonna go up, whatever we're gonna do until we get over to this trend line. We got a while to go, right? Y'all see that? So what we can do is now we can draw another trend line. Well, before we do that, let's just track. Let me give you the main two lines, okay? So that's the main downtrend line. You start with your ray, you go straight across, and you drag your ray down till you touch the first point. Okay? A wick, ideally. Now, what some people like to do, which is perfectly fine, is go to the line chart and do that, right? And at least you're getting where price is coming through. The only problem I have with that is it doesn't account for the wicks. And the wicks, Kind of matter. That's just me. You see what I'm saying? So what other people, well, especially on my team, what other people do is they create two different lines. So they'll make, let's say, this line, this color for Wix. Then they'll go onto the line chart and create a yellow line that denotes price. And in their mind, they know that price could actually go anywhere in between those, yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
That makes sense? Okay, so if you want to do Wix, that's Wix. If you want to do price, you can do price. If you want to do both, because it makes you feel more confident in seeing the parameter of where price could go, put both. Okay? All right, so we got the one done. Now we got to move our chart up, and now we've got to have another line, don't we? Because don't we have a demand zone? Okay? So what happens is sometimes you can't always see it. In this case, we can still see it. I zoomed out enough where we can see it. Right? So now I'm going to start at my demand, at my low point. I'm going to get my ray. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to go up. So I'm starting, oops, not that, sorry, hold on. Oh, shoot, let me do that. Get my line back, okay. So here, I'm going to get my ray. Wait a minute, why do I want to do it? Hold on. There we go, okay. All right, so now I got my ray. I'm gonna start horizontal, right? Y'all see this? And I'm gonna keep going with my line until I touch what? The first point, which is kind of like right there. Y'all see that? Okay. Now, if I scoot over, you guys can see how price is aiming towards that little triangle. Y'all see that? Let me make sure y'all have it. Yep, that's your low. Start at your low. And come all the way up until you touch the first point. But you got to zoom in because you can't see enough of the candles. If you can't see your candles, right, because we're trying to track where the market has already gone, where it is right now. Everybody get their two lines drawn, two trend lines? This is where we're tracking the market. Y'all see this? So we hit here. What we can expect is that price is going to come up, bounce, come up, right, until something. Yes, sir.
Kind of looking at a couple of charts.
Yes.
Some of them, our line has already broken through the rate that we just put.
Did you start at your low point?
Yeah.
Okay, come over. This, okay, not your arm. Take your ray. Grab your ray. Now, come back horizontal. Okay, now if you go horizontal, that's the first point you touch it.
Okay.
Out of all the price, the first point we get to.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's going to be your hour boundary. Now, can you draw another trend line within there? Yes. But we want our boundaries first. Because see, if you just draw that trend line that goes through there, you can see price came outside of that. Which meant if you didn't know that, you could have been caught. So we just track the market. You see that? It's got to stay. It's going to probably it's got to. But you can't see one market. So you don't have to.
This is your first tap.
So now, you grab your array. You grab your array. First point we get to the key, okay, let me just say this. The key to your trend lines, guys, is you got to be able to see the market. You understand what I'm saying? If we don't draw a demand zone, you don't know where to start the trend line in the first place. If we don't draw a supply zone, you don't know where to start the trend line in the first place. So we know that price is doing something within our two zones. So you want to be able to see. So sometimes when on the side, some of us have like smaller computers and this like that, whatever, you might need to go to the weekly. You see what I'm saying? Instead of like going crazy trying to fit it all in on daily, go to the weekly and see what you can see. But you got to be able to see the market, okay? Now, this is where we track the market. In other words, we're expecting price to stay within these lines some kind of way. And at some point, it's going to break out one way or the other. It's going to have to break to the upside or break to the downside. You guys see that? So if you were going to be an analyzer, is that what? Yeah. If you're going to be an analysis, analyzer. Okay. If you were going to be an analyst, if you were going to be an analyst, don't you now have a much better view to make an analysis on versus guessing? Do you feel better? So what would someone say about price? Just looking at all 5 of our steps, where we are, if you were on the play-by-play, you on ESPN, you giving a play-by-play of what Euro USD is doing. Knowing what you know about supply, demand, what would you say? Well, back in 2017, we were down at around.
Yeah.
Keep going, somebody. I'm listening. Somebody, where's my analysis? My analyst.
What was your question again?
My question is, give me an analysis on Euro USD from what we've done so far. Not a dollar, because those are pips.
Oh.
At
1.82.
Yep. And then we what?
We went up.
We rallied up, right?
Yeah.
Right, we had a little bit of we hung out somewhere in the middle, somewhere around where? A little choppy, right? A little choppy in between 1.609 up through 1.206, right? But we had a strong rally from 1.194, all the way up to a supply zone, topping off at what? 25432, roughly, right? We hit that high point, we had some consolidation, and we had a strong sell-off. In other words, when you hear the news, is what I'm saying, because that's what they're doing. Or you're on TradingView, and on the side, sometimes they're giving you somebody who's done a report or a summary of what Euro USD has done. I want you to be able to read that and at least understand it. If you don't completely understand it all the way right today, if you keep reading them and you keep doing this, you will start to comprehend what they're saying, right? If you're listening to the news and you hear, they don't talk much about foreign exchange, all the time about stocks, but if they throw in some Forex information and you're washing dishes or you're, getting something ready on the patio and you hear them say something like the dollar is actually rallying up and you follow Euro USD, what should you be expecting Euro USD to do if the dollar is rallying up?
Right.
Euro USD should be going down, shouldn't it? You got to be able to hear and interpret this. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like, this is for real.
Say that one. They say.
If they say the dollar is dropping,
Right.
Trump went up there, got into an argument with the Chinese, and everybody was mad at the United States. And everybody started pulling their money out of the United States. What happens to the dollar? It goes down. Confidence in the dollar goes down. So if the dollar is going down and you're in Euro USD, what could you expect for Euro USD if the dollar is going down?
Euro is going up.
The euro's going up. Why? Because in our pairs, the first pair is called, the first currency is called the base pair. The base pair is reflective of what the price is doing. So the euro, if the market is going up, the euro is going up. If the market is going down, the euro is doing what? Going down. The secondary pair is opposite of the base pair. So if the euro is going up, simultaneously the dollar is doing what? Going down. Going down. So we don't live where we trade, where we use euro. We're going to hear more news about the dollar. So when you hear them say, oh, the dollar is strengthening, that means the dollar is going up. If the dollar is strengthening and you're in Euro USD, you should be looking at your chart and assessing that the market is probably going to start doing what? Going down. This is why it's so great to pull out your cell phone and see what's going on. You guys see what I'm saying? All right? So we just track the market, all right? Now those are the 5 steps. That's what you do every time you get on your charts. Now tomorrow, your USD is already marked up, isn't it? Yes. So you don't have to do anything tomorrow, market's closed anyway, so it opens up at 5 o'clock. When it opens up, what Chris Terry teaches really is you need to chill for like 2 hours. It's like this, when you wake up in the morning, you just jump straight up and you're ready to go. No. Okay, snooze, get out, drag a little bit. The market does the same thing. It's chilling, it's getting itself together. First off, the market never closed, it just closed for retail traders. Right. You understand what I'm saying? It's closed. That's why you can wake up and price will be down here when it opens up. Yeah. Because the banks are still trading. You're not trading. That's why some traders, retail traders, don't trade or don't have trades open during the weekend. Depending on if you're in a long swing and it doesn't matter. Right? But the banks are still trading right now. We can't see it though. So when the market opens at 5 o'clock, the market opens up here and hit your stop loss. And now you lost. Or opens down here, hit your stop loss, now you out. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So the market is still moving, it's just closed to retail traders. So you wait for a couple hours for the market to adjust itself. And what it usually does is they call it closing the gap. Sometimes what the market will do, like if it opens up down here, it'll play around and at least it gets to a point where price was before it closed on Friday. Now, at that point, it can shoot up or go down, right? You have your analysis in place. But it'll probably try to close the gap. Some people do what they call gap trading. They look for certain pairs that actually gap when the market opens, and after about an hour, they get into a trade in the direction that will close the gap. Right? It's like a correction. All right? All right, online, everybody have this. Let me go to the chat. Everybody have this online? Okay? Good. Okay, so let me get some feedback now. So just on this, was this helpful?
Yes.
So let me just kind of go through. So what makes this different now than when you didn't do this before? Why is it different? Why is it better?
You can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of know where you are in the market.
You know where you are in the market. That's like half the battle. You can still choose a wrong analysis and go the wrong way, but at least you're not blind doing that.
I guess.
You're not guessing. What else?
See, this is 4 hours and stuff. I've gotten to this one.
Wow, this is the fun part, right? That's what I said. So that's why. That's right. That's why I remember we're gonna do this in 3 phases. Phase 1, we're gonna mark up the chart. Phase 2, I said now we're gonna find entry points. Because now you, oh, that's good. Yeah, nice.
Looks good.
Yeah.
That's great.
That looks great. You can do your analysis really good, but you're not in any trades.
No.
Okay, but everybody had the 5 points to marking up your chart.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so now if you guys want to, we can take a little break for a couple minutes if you want, or we can just plow through.
Excuse me, Trace.
Huh? Oh, the fifth one is your trend lines. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We need you to go over those 5 points one more time. A couple of people didn't get it.
Sure. Okay. So step one is you're going to pick your pair and go to the daily. Okay. Step two is you're going to mark your high point and your low point. Step three is you're going to identify your bullish or bearish engulfing candles and box out your supply and demand zone. Step four is you're going to mark up support resistance. And step five is you're going to track the market with your trend lines. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Did your trend lines go away? Did they leave you? Four? Okay, let me say it one more time, guys. One more time. One is you're going to choose your pair and go to the daily chart. Two, you are going to find your high point and your low point. Three, you are going to identify bullish and bearish engulfing candles and mark up your supply and demand zones. On the day, all the day. Four is you are going to mark up your support resistance. And then five, you are going to track the market with your trend lines. Okay? Okay. You guys in the chat, those of you that have the 5 steps, there you go, Judy. Type it in for the group. Okay? Fabulous. All right. So now that we have the pair marked up, and you would need to do this with now do you see what people say, just pick 1 or 2 pairs? Pick 1 or 2 pairs. Why? Because if you're really going to follow a pair, I'm going to say this. I'm not that good with keeping track of, this is why Chris Terry has a setup of 5 and 6 different monitors and things like that. Right? Or you can go on TradingView, you can upgrade to the Pro version where you can create 4 different screens. Right? So if you have 4 different pairs you're watching, you can look at TradingView, you can have pair 1, pair 2, pair 3, pair 4. I think you're going to have pros that even do pair 1 and pair 2 to have 2 screens. Right? But you can do that. But the idea is that you're waiting for a move to happen. And while you're over there looking at UJ because Swipe Trades told you to go through UJ, you didn't forget that you're waiting on your move on Euro USD. And when you do that, this thing breaks through, you miss the retest, now your whole move is missed, and UJ hit stop loss. Now you're mad because you missed your move and you was losing to somebody else. Here. Okay, so focus. Focus. Pick yourself 1 or 2 pairs. You can make more than enough money on 1 pair because you're going to be catching multiple moves with the 1 pair. If you're watching it, you can get into buys, you can get into sales, you can get into all type of things on 1 pair. If you're watching it, multiple positions, everything. If you're all over the place, you're catching it like by chance almost. Or missing it. Or not catching it at all, Bonnie. You got that right. Okay. Okay. So now you can see something, right? All right. So now let's talk about, let's talk about getting into the trades. Okay. Everybody say, no retest, no entry. No retest, no entry. No retest, no entry. No retest, no entry. Okay. What does retest mean? Everybody know what retest means? Okay. I'll just kind of go through it. It's really a breakthrough and then a retest. A breakthrough what? It can break through a trend line. It can break through a support resistance line. It could break through a zone, like a supply-demand zone. Here, price did not hit our trend line, did it? No. It went up. It did not hit our trend line, did it? It kept going all the way up until it hit our zone, didn't it? When it hit our zone, did it break through our zone?
Yes.
No, it didn't. The wick, okay, now break, when we say break,
Right.
we mean it needs to close.
Okay. Close.
When you hear somebody say a break and retest, it doesn't mean that you threw the ball up there and it dropped back down. A break would be, I threw the ball up to the second floor and it stayed up there. That means it broke. It created a new level now, right? So I throw the ball up through the light fixture and it stays up there on the second floor. That it broke through, right? So it went up, but it did not close above our zone. And so it consolidated and turned around and came back down. So we're looking for breaks going above a zone, going below a zone, going above or below support resistance, going above or below a trend line, and closing in that direction, then turning around and touching the area that we just broke through. That's a retest, right? So I go, let's say price right here. It didn't go through our line, it touched our line, but had price gone through, the red candle came down here, closed, then turned around, came back up, and touched the trend line, that's a retest. Got in on a what? A sale. Because if I break through this trend, this is a what trend? It's an uptrend. And all this time, we're not breaking our uptrend, are we? If I break through my uptrend, that is an indication that the trend direction is now getting ready to what? Change.
Okay. So we're looking more for, we're not looking for the bounce, we're looking for the breaks.
Depends. Because the bounces, we'll get into the bounces.
Okay.
The bounces matter too. We're getting on bounces. There's a set of rules for the bounces. But I'm just saying, I wanted to clarify the break and the retest.
I understand.
Okay? Because if you watch Chris Derrick on IML TV, if you watch Joshua Walls on IML TV, of course Warren on IML TV, Lex Waves, those are gonna be like the main people that I know that will talk about price. These are price action traders. So you're gonna hear them say things like break and retest, wait for the break. Stevenson Lindor, wait for, he says the flag, wait for the flag. You guys know what I'm talking about? Wait for the flag. This would be, like for example, if we're going up and this, see how this pulled back? A pullback is a flag.
Yeah.
Right? This pullback. So he might say, get in, he said, okay, we're getting ready to get in for a buy on Euro USD, but wait for the flag. That doesn't mean go to MC4, hit buy right now. Why? Because a flag is forming in a pullback. Wait for the flag. Now, how do you like that? We'll get into that. But that's terminology. Okay? So, break and retest. Break, it has to close above or below. It'll turn around, come back, touch. That's when you get in. If it is a trend redirection, then we don't want to get it on the buy anymore. We want to now start looking to get it on the sell. That's what the break means. We're breaking what? Structure. We're breaking the current uptrend structure. Okay? If we came over here, and price went up and broke this line, what would that be an indication of? And now we need to do what? Right. So it breaks through, wait for the retest, and get in to write it up.
Okay. All right.
If we come here, we break down, we wait for the retest, and we get down on the sale. Okay? If it doesn't break, we're still in the uptrend. So nobody should be putting in any sales close to this trend line unless it broke. Nobody. There should be no sales at that trend line from anybody unless it has broke the trend line, at least. Now, could the market still do crazy stuff? Yes. But do you at least have a reason why you got in for a sale? Yes. And is that a valid reason that the market just kind of violated? Yes. And that's what I mean. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but at least you had the right strategy and the right approach. Right? And that's okay. That's going to happen way less than it not happening. And it's going to work in your favor more times than not. Okay? So, let's talk about touches and getting in. If we look at this trend line, this is going to apply to trend lines and this is going to apply to support resistance. Okay? Right now, we're going to look at the trend for a particular, because it's heavy, everybody can see it. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit over here. Entry points is what we're talking about, guys. Entry points. Entry points. Now, actually, let's start at the demand zone. That's even better. Okay. So, this was our demand zone, right? From here to here. We can see that price came up, and what did it do to our demand zone? It broke it. Broke it, right? And then it kept going up. Then it turned around, and what did it do again? Broke it. Came back down. Then what did it turn around and do again? Broke it. Right? During this point in time, we're not really doing anything. Now, it's hindsight. But ideally, what happens is that when you're getting ready to get into a trade, here's a rule of thumb. Let's just say you didn't know that this was about to happen, right? So you got in, you saw this bullish candle hit here, and you said, okay, great, it broke, I'm gonna wait for the retest, and I'm gonna get in on the what? A buy, right? Bullish engulfing, we're in a demand zone, we're looking for buys, right? It breaks, you're gonna put in a position right at the top of this zone right here, a buy limit, okay? As we wait for price to come back and hit that zone. You're kind of setting your trades up in advance. When this bullish engulfing candle breaks this zone and it has not retested the zone at all, that's a fresh zone. Or I say fresh zone. A fresh zone, which means that you could put in a buy limit because we are expecting it to at least hit that zone 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and potentially 4 times. Okay? So here's the rule of thumb. That when you break a zone, price is going to come back to retest that zone 3 to 4 times before the breakthrough. Again. Usually the 4th time is the breakthrough. The 3rd time is getting ready to touch. You kind of want to sit on your hands because it's like a warning. Everybody say warning. Warning. Your first touch and your second touch are almost like your money touches. In other words, I try not to get in on the trade if I see that this is going to be the 3rd touch to that zone. Or the 4th. I'm definitely not getting on the 4th. So how do I know if it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th? I got to look left. If you have your chart marked up, now you know what you're looking left for. Right? So I've got a demand zone. What am I looking for? Bullish engulfing to break out of the demand zone. When the bullish engulfing breaks out of the demand zone, I know that at least the 1st time it comes back and the 2nd time it comes back, I should be ready for buys. All right with me? Yes. The 3rd time it comes back, I'm going to sit on my hands because it could still go into a buy, but it can come deep back into my zone and go negative and all this stuff before it pulls back out again. The 4th time, I'm going to expect it to drop through. I'm done. Next, looking for sales now. Okay? So what are we looking for? We're looking for 4 touches to the zone, or 4 touches to the trend line, or 4 touches to the support resistance line. Everybody with me? If you don't have the lines drawn up, it's kind of hard to know what number touch it is. And 3 to 4 times after what? After a break. After a break. So we started our trend line here. Our bullish engulfing is here. This bullish engulfing candle closes. You have to wait until the candle what? Closes. Because if you don't do that, couldn't this thing pull down and create a wick on you and turn around and go the other way? You have to wait until this bullish engulfing is closed, and then you start counting touches. A touch is this right here, this wick. See that? It touched, and then it went up. A break is what it did. It came down, and it broke through our zone again and started our first point of our trend line. See that? So let's just say you saw this bullish engulfing candle, that candle closed, and what you're looking to do is you're looking to place buys along the top of this bearish candle here. That's why we're marking up the zone with this candle right here. So when we're looking to place a buy, you can see the wick came and touched right on that. Y'all see that? Like perfect wick entry. So what we're looking for is buys at the top of that zone. Where are you looking for buys at? The top of the zone. Anywhere in the zone will do. But what happens is sometimes like this, if you got a buy limit set down here because you're afraid it's going to come down, you want to miss these pips, you would have missed the whole move. Right? Because your buy limit was too far down and it just touched and popped up and went on that. How many pips that is you missed? So anywhere in the zone is okay. So the key is you need to measure the zone then, don't you? You need to know how many pips the zone is. Why? Because if you want to try to catch, like for example, this candle came down and it broke through the zone, didn't it? It didn't touch the zone, it broke through the zone. And then it turned around and went back up and closed above the zone again. If we had came in and put our first buy limit right there, because we knew this candle closed, it was a fresh zone, we were gonna put a buy in at the top of the zone, our buy would have triggered, but we would have went south, wouldn't it? It's 45 pips? Okay. So what happens is, ahead of time, you've got this zone already drawn out, don't you? Ahead of time, you need to know that this is 45 pips. And you need to make a determination. If I put a buy limit right here, and the price goes down to the bottom of my zone, am I still going to be okay in my account with the amount of negative that I'm going to have based on the lot size that I'm going to go into the trade with? So, if you're like, oh, I'm going to do a standard. Okay, great. And you do a standard, and this thing goes down. Well, let's measure. Did it come? Is it 45 pips from the top of the zone down to this wick?
No, just the zone.
Okay, so just the zone itself. Okay, the zone itself. We're only measuring the zone itself. As you can see, price will do that sometimes, but it didn't close down. Okay.
Excuse me, Trace.
Price doesn't close after we do our bullish engulfing. As long as price doesn't close below our zone, we're okay.
Excuse me, Trace.
Yes, ma'am.
Folks are having a hard time following you. They can't see exactly where you are on the chart.
Oh, okay, because I'm not on this part. Okay, hold on. Let me do this on the screen right here. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you got it. What did I say? All right, you guys see this bullish engulfing candle right here, right? What I'm saying is, once this bullish engulfing candle comes up and closes above our demand zone, which is the green area that we mapped out, once it closes above there, we're gonna start looking for entry points. That's how we know, that's our clue, start looking for buys. When this candle closes above that green zone, we can expect price to come back and hit this zone at some point in time. We don't know when, how fast, how quick. We just know somewhere between 3 to 4 times. The first time it comes to that zone is a money shot, okay? The second time is also a money shot. The third time it comes down to that zone, in other words, it goes up, it comes down. It goes up and comes down to the zone. Right here, you guys can see it didn't come down to the zone, did it? So it's not, we're not gonna make stuff up. We're not gonna say it came close to the zone. No, it has to come to the zone. Okay, has to come to the zone. So it comes up, this point right here came to the zone, didn't it? To the zone, that was the first touch. It went all the way up, gave us all those pips. Came down, did not touch the zone. Went up, did not touch the zone. Went all the way up, look, to the heavens. Far, far, far away from the zone until we got all the way up here to what? A whole nother zone. The supply zone. The same rules apply at the supply zone too. If I see this bearish engulfing come out of this supply zone, what am I waiting for? First touch to the bottom of the zone to get in on a what? A sell. You guys can see we touched this zone one good time, didn't we? And it pulled us in. It went back up there, but we had one big move down, right? It came back up a second time. You had another chance. Market said, okay, Euro USD lovers, here's your next shot. You're going to get in or what? Don't be scared. Second touch. Sell limit goes right at the bottom of this line. And then you get it on the sale here. Second touch. And what happens? Money. You still in this. You don't care. You don't care. Because you move your stop loss now. Right? You don't care. You trace like, are you good? Right? But now we down here. Right? We're down here. And the only way we're going to get back down to this demand zone is if what? We got to break that trend line. So we're done with the demand zone for right now because we got other issues in the middle. We're not worried about demand zone no more because we missed it. Y'all see that? We missed the demand zone entries. However, if price then breaks through this trend line and starts plowing down to this demand zone, aren't we going to go back and count what touch this would be? You guys understand what I'm saying? You can't just automatically, because it's demand zone, buy. How many touches is it to the demand zone?
The demand zone, are we basing it on a particular candle? Like when it touch, you talking about the green candle touch?
We don't give a darn what candle touched.
Okay.
If price comes to right there, we want in. It's like somebody gonna drop you off to your friend's house because y'all get ready to go out of town. Do you care who drop you off? You want to get to the house so y'all get on out of town. I don't care what car, I don't care bus, train, plane, automobile, bicycle, walk. Get me to my destination so I can get in and get on where I need to get to. It's kind of like that. Or helicopter. Got that right. He's been talking about being a pilot lately. Okay, so here's my point I'm trying to make. Those guys online can't see it. Hold on. Okay, so here we had this bullish candle breakout, right? It's what created our zone for us. Hindsight, matter of fact, let's do this. Okay, y'all with me? Now I just remove the candles. So this is where price is at, right? Boom, we see this candle close. What are you gonna do? You're gonna put a buy limit where? At the top of that zone. You guys with me? That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put a buy limit at the top of that zone. You guys know what a buy limit is versus what a buy stop is. A buy limit is, you can see that in order for us to get there, we would have to go down. And then we would buy and go up. A buy stop would mean we got in down here somewhere. Right? Or price is already down here. And it triggered us and took us in the same direction. Right? So we're gonna only focus on limits. In other words, we want price to always come to us. Come to us. We're not gonna chase price. We want price to turn around and come to us. Everybody understand that? That's how we're gonna trade. We want price to turn around and come to us. So price went above that line, went above our zone. We say, okay, great. Price is at, what's that, 1.04500? Somewhere around there? Great. Put a buy limit in for that. That's what you would do. And you would wait. You would wait. Now, I also said that you need to measure this zone because price could wick down in there, could do all types of things. The zone is the area by which price can go that's still okay with us. So if price is still okay with us anywhere in that zone, you need to know how wide that zone is. Why do you know how wide the zone is? Because your lot size is going to determine whether you stay in the game or get kicked out the game based on if price comes down through that zone. You understand what I'm saying? You have to prepare. So if you have a $100 account and you're like, all right, I got to make $2,000 today. I have to. And then you say, Tracy said, first touch, money shot. You don't measure your zone though. So you put in a buy limit right here at a standard, $10 a pip. $10 a pip, our zone is how wide?
49 pips.
You need to ask yourself, if price goes down 45 pips at $10, am I still in the game? Then change your lot size. You should not be playing with that lot size if you get kicked out from this is still fair play. So if you're getting kicked out in fair play, your lot size is too high. You get what I'm saying? This is still fair. Everything to this point is still fair. You know what I'm saying? It's our boundaries. So this is still all, we can still run the ball in here. If you're getting kicked out, you're doing too much. For those guys on the computer, what I'm saying is, if you got to measure this green zone. So how do you measure the green zone? You grab your price tool, and then you start at the top of the zone. Oops. Oh, maybe it won't let me do it because I'm in this replay thing. It won't let me do it. Okay. But you grab your price tool, and you start at the top, you drag it down to the bottom, and you count how many pips that is. If you cannot sustain making it to the bottom of the zone, even at the bottom of your low, change your lot size so that you can stay in the game. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So if you got to change your lot size down to a 0.1 versus a 1.0, and now this thing goes $45 or $50, are you still in the game? You make a decision. You might even come down to a 0.05, right? $50 accounts, 0.01 anyway. Because you want to be able to sustain at least 100 pips. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to sustain at least 100 pip in the wrong direction. If your lot size will not let you sustain 100 pip in the wrong direction, change the lot size. You guys with me? So, you see this candle close. What do? Put a buy limit where? At the top of the zone. And you know that it could go 45, 50 pips down, and your lot size is appropriate, so in case it does go that low, you're still okay. But you're secure in it because you're in a demand zone, and you're what? You at a trend line. That's kind of double confirmation that we kind of going in the right direction. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so now what happens? Price does this.
Is she setting her stop loss?
What you said, your stop loss, great question, it's always going to go 3 to 5 pips below the low. Below the low.
Yeah.
What wasn't enough?
That wasn't enough pips.
What do you mean?
Not below the zone, below
The low.
Okay.
Your stop loss goes there.
Right.
And then you measure that.
No. You're talking about this candle. This is the candle that just right through and took you out. Right.
But it should not have taken you out.
So the low should be your low. That's not the low.
See why your line's gotta be drawn right?
Yeah. So you're saying below the last.
The low.
The low.
The low. Step number 2 that we drew. The high and the low. The low. What's wrong, Brian? This low, this is the second thing we drew. It is there.
Well, if we're talking about going back, right? And that's where I'm having trouble.
Oh, I see, but this is still a low here.
Right, but online it goes. Okay, so let me make sure I'm even looking at the right thing.
So basically,
Okay, this is on here. There's my zone.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
the
This
map
is candle from candle.
Okay.
basically.
This all is not out.
Okay, so then let's say this. Move this line up to here. Move your low up to there.
Okay.
Let's just pretend, right? There. Now, you're gonna put your stop loss 3 to 5 pips below that.
Okay.
Okay? We started here, so I forget, we went back. So we go back at the position. So you still have a low right here. And this is why we're gonna do it 3 to 5 pips below that. You don't wanna have your stop loss at the low. Because if you have it at the low, it can hit the low.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying? It can still hit the low and turn around and take you out. So we want 3 to 5 pips below the low.
So
Now-
they include the low and the supply and demand.
In your calculation, especially if there's a disparity between the low and the zone.
Gotcha.
Guys online, what I'm saying is what Bonnie was saying was this. We created our low right here. But she's like, hey, but we didn't get into over here. This low wasn't created yet. I said, you're right, Bonnie. I said, so then you move up your low to the previous low, which would have been this red candle, right? And now if I put in a stop loss, 3 to 5 pips, even below that, let's see, that's 0.3668 for me. So that'll be 618, 3618. That would be my stop loss, right? 3618. Hold on, I'm gonna make this line red, for example. And then I'm gonna go to settings, and I'm gonna go to 3618. Okay, now, if I go down to the 1 hour chart, hold on, let me just go back to the daily, hold on. What I want to demonstrate is that you're still in the trade. I would even just say 5 pips, right? Yes, it wasn't there, right? Hold on. Let me move this. Let me make this line. So as you start doing this, you guys, your lines have to be, you see why your lines have to be kind of accurate, right? Okay, hold on. Let me move this red line out the way. Let me put this white line accurately where the bottom is. And let me make this line, let me make it thinner. Oops. Okay. Okay, so now we're at 3, 5, 9, 4. So 5 pips would be 3, 5, 4, 4, right? Coordinates. 3, 5, 4, 4. Oh shoot, that wasn't right. 0, 3. Lord have mercy. 0, 3, 5, 4, 4. 0, 3, 5, 4, 4. Oh, that might have took us out. That might have took us out. 3402 for that day? Where? 3402. That's huh? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that was that candle. But we would have had what you call it? A stop loss 5 pips below. So how many pips difference was it? 402 to 5 4 is 14. So yeah, so that would have took us out. Yeah. It would have took us out. Okay. It would have taken us out. Okay. In that scenario. But here was important to know. Now you can see what happened. What I want you to do is build confidence in rules of thumb. You can see that even though it did that, it took some people out. If you over leveraged, you were hurt. If you were not over leveraged, you lost. But then you know you gotta wait to get back in. When this closes back above the zone again. You understand what I'm saying? It's a playbook. Step 1 is wait for the bullish engulfing, turn around, get in, put a buy limit there, put a stop loss 3 to 5 pips below the low. If your stop loss gets hit at the low, but you have confluence, meaning this is a demand zone, okay, I'm going in the upward trend, I've got a bullish engulfing, I've got multiple things telling me this is a buy. This is a buy. It takes you out. Do you get right back in? No. You wait for what? The break above the zone again, which is another confirmation. This was a fake out. Bonnie, right? You guys can see that? It was a fake out.
That's why the market, everybody's being.
It's not that you're wrong. It's you got to get at the right time. But if you don't know what you're doing or what to look for or how to reset the game, then, oh man, I lost Euro USD. And then Swipe Trade said, no, come in. And now, oh, everybody got 100 pips. You're like, how did I miss 100 pips? Because they got back in and you were scared to get back in now. You understand what I'm saying? You were scared to get back in. So this is our signal here. This bullish and go. We come in, we put the limit there. They fake us out with this big red candle. They come down, they wick us out. 12 pips or so. They wick us out. Okay, as long as we're not over leveraged, we're still in the game. 0.01, we all right. $4, $5, $10, whatever. Right? We're still in the game. Okay, great. So then we turn around, we wait for what? This candle's now break above again. It breaks above again. What are you getting ready to do? Put the buy limit right back where you said in the first place. And then what did it do? Exactly what you thought it was going to do. The first time, except it faked you out the first time. Those of you guys online, do you understand what I'm saying? We had this bullish engulfing, right? Let me do this. We had this bullish engulfing. When this bullish engulfing hit, we wait for it to close, and then we were going to come in here at the top of this zone, and we're going to put in a buy limit. But you have to measure the distance between your high, your zone, the top of your zone, and the low. Because if you don't know the distance between the top of your zone and the low, and if price comes down there, you don't know how much you have at risk. You shouldn't be guessing. You should be making calculated judgments on your money. So this was 40-some pips? 45 pips. So we need to calculate in our minds. If I put a 0.01 in here and this thing goes backwards 45 pips, am I still in the game if I lose $4.50? If your answer is yes, I'm still in the game if I lose at $4.50, you stay in the trade. But if you got a stop loss 3 to 5 pips below the low and it comes down and they do what they call a stop hunt, okay, then they take you out, right? They go below the 3 to 5 pips below the low. They take you out and then still go in the direction that you were wanting to go in the first place. It's not because you made the wrong decision. It's because they faked you out. And you get nervous and you second guess yourself and you're like, the rule doesn't apply. No, yes, the rules apply. You got nervous? It freaks you out?
Because I did the same thing on another pair.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I am seeing something wrong.
No, don't second guess yourself. You're seeing it right, but the market does what the market's going to do.
If the market did every time what we expected,
everybody would just be rich right now, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is why you don't over leverage. So I've learned this the hard way. All of us have learned this the hard way. Okay, it's not like none of us have not learned this. This is why. Because they can fake you out. It's the perfect setup, isn't it? This is the perfect setup. You pull up your chart tomorrow, Monday, give it till Monday. And you come in here and you draw and you see this dang on bullish engulfing coming up at your demands. So you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, right out the class, boom, buy limit goes in and they fake you out. You get nervous, scared, oh my God, it didn't work. Then you shut your computer down and then here you go, you'll get on Facebook. You're gonna see me and Jamie gonna be like, oh yeah, we just caught 100 pips. On the same pair. Why? Because we didn't over leverage and we still followed our rule. Because it's gonna happen. You guys understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't let it fake you out. Or don't let it freak you out to the point that you don't re-engage. That's what they want you to do, is not re-engage. Yeah. The brokers soak up all your money and then you're done. Good. We scared her to death. And when she come back again, she's gonna make the same mistake and then we're gonna take our money again. Right? Okay. So this happens, right? Boom, it went down there, it snatched us out the market. So we waited until this point, didn't we? We waited. And now at this point, what are we gonna do? Put your buy limit in. When this candle closes above here again, because it didn't close below our low, did it? It touched our low, but it didn't close. You guys gotta remember, it's the close that determines the direction. It didn't close below the low. In other words, it didn't create a lower low. Okay? So if it didn't close below the low, we still have a higher low, don't we? So we're in the right direction. And we're in a demand zone. Okay? So boom, price comes here, we put in a buy limit. We go in again, Bonnie. We don't let them freak us out. We go back in, we re-engage. 0.01, buy limit. This dang thing you're gonna buy right here now. Now let's see. Up. You like, wait, well, let me go back first. Because see, when this candle happens, what happens? You get scared, don't you? It missed it. I missed it. Yes. And then what do? Buy right there. And it drops. You buy right there. That's why I'm saying no retest. What? No entry. Don't buy at the top. If clothes on sale at Nordstrom, and then the price goes up at Nordstrom, do you buy when the price goes up? No. You're going to wait until the stuff goes on what? Sale. Why do you want to keep buying at the highest point? because you're scared you're gonna miss. Don't buy high, you buy where? Low. Everybody knows that. Oh, buy low, sell high. Everybody says that.
And what we need?
We buy high, sell low. All right. Okay. So that candle hits, and then what we do? We get nervous. Now we see it coming down, and what does it do? Boom, pick us up, didn't it? It picked us up right there, pulled all the way back, and then took us up. Right? Now, that's entry point 1. Right? You guys understand what I'm saying with entry points? You got the gist, right? Bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3, sit on your hands. It's a warning. It's like, how many times somebody gonna punch you in your face before you punch back? Like, think about it like that. Okay, you can punch me once. You punch me a third time, a second time. That third time, look now. I'm warning you. That fourth time, I'm gonna take you out. That's kind of how price is moving, right? First time, second time, third time is a warning. Don't buy. On the third time, fourth time, don't buy. Just wait, okay? So we're looking for time 1 and time 2 as our high probable times to get in, okay? Now, once we're in, the question is, well, where do we get out? Right? Where do we get out? Who knows where to get out?
The first bullish, bearish green, red candle.
No.
Yeah. You look at your levels. Your levels will determine.
What do you mean when you say levels?
Like your once you mark up and then breaks through, where you test 4 3 times.
Okay, we did all that right here.
But I'm saying once it breaks through, you go back to the.
Well, it broke through right here.
Touch.
But we already in. We got in. What else before? So we got in here. Okay, actually, all right, let's take it back. So we get here. Fine, we went up. We went up here. We broke this zone right here. So where do we get out though? You gonna write it until what though?
I would move my stop loss up as.
So you don't know.
I really don't.
Okay.
I'll tell you the truth.
All I'm saying is, that's the way we trade. You understand what I'm saying? It's just bringing the light. Like, we don't know what we should. Do we know that we should move our stop loss if it's going? Yes. But you need to have a target. Do you understand what I'm saying? You should have a target. You're going to get in your car, you're going to drive to the Smyrna Public Library. Like, you should at least know the address of Smyrna Public Library. You don't just get in and be like, well, you know what? I'm just going to figure it out. It's just going, at some point, I'm going to get there.
One day.
So the rule of thumb is the previous level of consolidation. That's where you get out. In other words, where price turned around and went the other way, that's where you get out. Okay? So now, remember this is the daily chart. On the daily chart, 2 candles could be consolidation. Right? Because for 2 days, it didn't go anywhere but right here. So this is why normally we'll go down to the hourly chart to actually get into trades. We mark it up on the daily, but now we're down here at the hourly. Okay? Hold on, let me see if I can. All right, we made it over here to our zone. Okay. So we mark up on the daily. Where do we go to actually see where to get in? Everybody say hourly. Okay, because you can see that wick. You can see it picked us up perfect right there. Don't y'all see that? Don't y'all see this right here?
Yeah.
Perfect entry, wasn't it? So, if we're gonna get in right there, let me stop this thing right here. Why is price not pulling up before this? I want to have to refresh this thing. Good Lord. What was it? What's the date?
December 16th. That's the lowest.
December 16th, what was it?
Oh, 0.034.
No, I mean 2017.
No, 6, I'm sorry. Mine is showing, well,
Oops.
all right, that low point, that lowest low point is January 3rd.
Yes.
Well, we started looking at the low rather than the December.
Hold on, what's going on my stuff here? Hold on, let's do this. I'll just go to the 4 hours. If I climb on the 4 hour, make it easier for ourselves. We can still see it on the 4 hour, and we'll be done with this. Okay. So we ideally want to get on the 1 hour, okay? So you can just see it. But what happens is you have to identify your previous level of consolidation, don't you? So you can do it on the daily or the 4 hours, still perfectly fine. The higher the time frame, the more like a swing it is, right? So if you go down to the hourly and you find a level of consolidation, then it's probably going to be a little bit sooner than if you found one on the 4 hour. But we're on the 4 hour right now. It's perfectly fine. So we got to look left for consolidation, don't we? Previous level. So we got in here. And we're looking this way to find out where to get out. Where is the most recent previous level of consolidation? I'm trying. Try it in. Come on. Hold on. You guys know what consolidation is, right? Markets, right? Up and down, up and down. Okay. Yeah. The previous level. That's previous. That's further away. So we want the previous, the most from where we were at, the previous. Right there. Why? Because price hit here and did what? Drops. So do you want to still be in a buy when last time price was really up here, it did that and it did that? You don't, because we don't know what's getting ready to do. So you get in here, and where would you take profit at? That support resistance. So it's correct what you said, but we have to identify which trend line, which support. Well, the one, yeah, where price is hanging out the most.
Okay.
The most previous.
Okay.
Don't be like, oh, it's consolidating over here. When you can see that this is right here.
Yes.
This is consolidation, yes it is. Yes it is. But the most previous to where we got in is right here. Right? You see what I'm saying? So we would get in here, we would set a take profit there. Right with me? Guys online, we would come in, this is the previous level of consolidation right here. If I were to take this, ellipse, and I were going to identify the previous level of consolidation, that's where it is. Y'all see that? And that support resistance line is our take profit. Everybody with me? This line is the take profit. So we get in here, we're gonna get out there. Now, if we're gonna measure what that could be, because we could measure all this before price gets there, can't we? So we get in here, and we're gonna go up here. Guys, how many pips is that? 178 pips. 178 pips. And you dang near went straight there, didn't you? You dang near, you got hit right here, you pulled you up. Another day, so you got in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 you hit. So now, 178 pips in 4 days. And then you have people that are saying, oh, I was gonna get 30 pips a day, right? Okay, well, you can play less and make more, essentially. You don't have to overtrade, that's what I'm trying to say. So if my goal is 30 pips a day, for example, that would mean in 5 days, I'm expecting how many pips? 150 pips, right? If my goal is I'm gonna trade every day and I'm gonna get 30 pips a day, then in 5 days, I'm expecting 150 pips. But if I can look for setups where I can imagine, I can say, okay, well, that's 178 pips. I don't know how long it's gonna take me, but if it took you 4 days to do that, you make more pips in less time and you only place 1 trade. You're not over trading, right? And if you're not over trading, then that means you're not making the right move here and the wrong move on GJ. Then it goes backwards on you on GJ, it pulls your account down, you turn around, let me go get in AU. You go get in AU, you make the wrong move on AU because now your attention is stuck on GJ. You just forgot about the right move you made on EU. So now AU, you go in there, you make a wrong move on AU takes $10 more out your account. And then you come over here and this thing hits and now you really only made $20. Why? Because you lost in 3 other trades trying to compensate by overtrading. You focus on 1 or 2 pairs and you're good. You guys understand what I'm saying? Yes.
Which ones did you say you favored?
Oh, me, I like GU. Yeah, I like GU, I like GA, I like GJ. I like GJ because they you get more dollars per pip on GJ, right? They move on GJ. So, boom, 178 pips, 4 days. Are you happy with that? Now, Price did what at that point? Just for illustrative purposes. Let me move this out the way. Price did what at that point? Right? It dropped down, it went up, it even came back down here, didn't it? You would have lost pips. It's okay. If you're a swing trader, you're not really tripping. Because you know it's going to come back up to where? The next level of consolidation. Y'all see that? Boom. So now you see when swipe trade says take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, where are they getting those from? Levels of previous level of consolidation. Do you understand? So this would be, in this case, take profit 1. I would look up and say, well, this area take profit 2, and I would say this area take profit 3. Y'all see that? Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Now, as I move up in this trade, take profit 1 hits, I could get out. But if I'm going to wait for take profit 2, I got to deal with some loss for a minute. Right? Get back in, go up. Okay, great. I almost lose all of that, come back down, and then I go back up. Y'all see that? That's what brings us to step 3 in this process. We're going to get this done. We got 45 minutes. Okay? Do y'all understand this?
Yes.
So you get in, you see a bullish engulfing, or if you're looking at the supply zone, you see a bearish engulfing. You're going to do what when that bearish engulfing closes? Put a sell limit where? The bottom of the supply zone, right? Let me go back to the daily and let me refresh. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Perfect. What happens? Bullish, bearish engulfing, isn't it? Come out that supply zone. And then you're going to do what? Put a sell limit at the bottom of this zone. But you're also going to calculate what? From the bottom of the zone to the top, to the high. Which is your line that you drew, your high. And then your stop loss is going to go where?
Profits be 3 to 5
above the high. Not the zone, the high. You guys with me online? Are you guys with me online? You see, this is our bearish engulfing. When this happens, hold on, let's do this. Right there. Bearish engulfing. You see that thing close. You come in there and you're gonna put what? Sell limit. Where? Bottom of the zone. Right here. Right here. But we're gonna calculate from here up to here, aren't we? We're gonna calculate all that distance and we're gonna put a stop loss 5 pips above that high. If your account cannot handle the pip distance between where you're getting in and 5 pips above the high, what do you need to do?
Lower your lot size.
Lower your lot size. You're not gonna like that you lower your lot size, but you're not gonna like that your account is long either. So live to play another day. That part. Because all we focus on, shit, if I had $1, $10, but you're not thinking, but wait, it goes up 50 pips and I'm at $10. Can I sustain that? Risk to reward. You have to look at risk to reward. This is for real. Okay? So you put sales limit right here, don't you? We calculate this distance, we put stop loss 5 pips above our high. What does price do? Oh, wait. Then, where do we put our take profit?
We're gonna put it,
You
look
guys
on
see
the hour chart, and go a day,
Well,
the day before, for consolidation.
okay, let's do that. I'm gonna go down to the 4. Oh, well, we're close over here on this. Well, hold on. Yeah, we're close. So I'll go down to the hourly chart. Let me stop this.
1 hour for the previous sale.
Yes. So let's go to the hour chart. Okay, here we go. Wait. I get in on the lower because I can see it better. You can get in on the higher too if you want, but I just like to see it a little bit better because you can see more of the actual price action and movement. Hour. Now I still confirm stuff. Like I'll go down to 50, but that's after I'm in it. After I'm in it, then I'm like, okay, I'll go down to 15 minutes, 5, play around like that sometimes, but okay. So you see on the hour, we can't see which one was I think this one was our big engulfing on the daily, wasn't it? This was our big engulfing on the daily. Okay. So this thing came blowing through here on the hourly, right? Came blowing through here on the hourly. We came and we set our sale limit right at the top of the zone, didn't we? Right? And we calculated our distance here. We put take profit 5 pips above our high. Okay. Now also you have to, when you come down to the hourly, then you can see, you can adjust your time, you can adjust your lines and stuff. Right? So on and so forth. All right? So fine. 5 pips above my high, I'm good. If I'm gonna measure my distance between the bottom of my zone and my high, I got 100 pips. You get to decide. You get to decide. You want to play that game or not? Your choice. You don't have to play the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's just at least know the risk of the game. Don't do it blind. Because so now you got 108 pips to the high, and you need 5 pips above, so you'll be 113 pips potentially. If you were going to hit your stop loss, would you be okay with 113 pips? So if you're not okay with $11.30, don't get in the trade. You understand what I'm saying? You can calculate this before you get in the trade.
Exactly.
Okay, or your lot size too high, $1,000, because you're trying to come up off the $50 account. Okay, so that's what we're doing, right? All right, so now we know our risk. We got our stop loss 5 pips above there. We're gonna come in, we're gonna put our sale limit right here at the bottom of this line. Did it not hit that line? Yes. It triggered us, perfect entry, right? And then we get out where? Previous level consolidation on the hourly chart tells us we should get out where? This white line. Y'all see that? This white line. Okay? If I get out that white line and I get in at the pink line, 65 pips, 66 pips. Are you okay with that? Right? Previous level consolidation, right? Price has the potential to come here and go up. We could break through, come down, go up. It's bouncing up, it's coming down, right? It bounced down here, which is good for us. Then it turned around here and bounced up. You guys see that? It's doing a lot. So you don't want to chance that. You just want to get out at the previous level consolidation. Let it do what it's going to do. If you want to get in again, then let it break through another zone. We were in this sale, right? We're in this sale. We get out here. We got in. We get out here. What did price, look, y'all see this? What did price do once we got out? Went all the way back up to the zone again. Now, you could put a sale, you know this was going to be touch number 2, potentially. You could have put a sale limit in on touch number 2, right? Sale limit number 2 come in, go down. I probably would have got out again at the same level of consolidation, right? But you can stay in longer, you could have got your money. 120 pips on the same pair because you're watching it. Well, more than that, because a few hours in here, but I just said we're trying to get 30 pips a day. Hey, you do this in about 3 days. In that case, you've made your goal. You know what I'm saying? You've made the goal. Is this making sense what I'm saying? Y'all understand?
Is this going to be recorded?
Yes.
Over.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so we get out here, 66 pips. We turn around, we come up, we get back out again, another 66 pips. Is that easy or what? Easy. Now, I'm not coming up here, put another sale limit up here. You see what happened touch number 3, don't you? What happened touch number 3? Warning. You put that sale limit here, it went up and touched that trend line. That might have saved you. Because that was like, okay, woo, we hit that trend line, come back down. Hallelujah, thank you. I've had that happen before, like, oh, thank you, God, for that trend line right there. Right, because I didn't count. That's the 3rd time. It shot all the way down there, right? And we haven't come back up yet, have we? Not yet. But now you know what to be thinking when that price starts approaching that line again, don't you? Now you know price is down in the middle between our supply and demand zones. But, so we can play the field down here, but if we start making our way back up towards that supply zone, that'd be the 4th time. So we looking to break through. I wouldn't be selling no more at that supply zone. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm not looking to sell at supply zone anymore. That's why though. Okay? Everybody clear on that? All right, so we went through phase 1. Phase 1 is mark up your chart. Y'all got that? Phase 2 is entry points. Y'all got that? Yes? How many times? Okay, so we're waiting for a break, right? If you're coming out the demand zone, you're looking for a bullish engulfing. It breaks the zone, and we're waiting for the what? The retest. How many retests are we looking to get in on?
2.
The first 2. What happened on the 3rd one? Warning. What happened on the 4th one? Potential breakthrough. Right? Y'all know how to get in trades now. Same thing, right? Same thing on a trend line. If you're on a trend line and it hits the trend line once, boom, good, get it on the sale. Twice, get it on the sale. 3rd time it hits that trend line, take profit is going to be what? Previous level consolidation. If you are in a buy, then you want to go to the top of the level of previous consolidation. Right? That's like your safety net because it went up there before it turned around. Right? If you're in a sell, you want to get out at the bottom of the previous level consolidation because that's where it turned around and went back up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows where stop loss go. Where stop loss go? Above or below the low or the high. So shouldn't your low and high already be marked?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. How are you going to know where the low and high is if you don't mark it up? Swipe trade comes out. Says, hey, we're getting ready to buy right here. and we get ready to sell, or we get ready to have a take profit right here, and we're gonna have a stop loss right here. If you can't come to your chart and assess whether that makes sense for you, you don't need to be in it. It's okay, it's more trades. If you can assess it and say, I agree with Wealthy Picks, I agree with Sharpshooter, I agree with Jay Adams, I agree with whoever. If you, who money is it? So shouldn't you agree?
Yes.
If you don't agree, whose fault is that?
Yours.
Don't be mad at slot trades. You know what I'm saying? They humans too. So you should be doubling up your analysis of what they say, which is why it's so important. They give you the markup, don't they? They give you the markup. But if you don't know how to analyze the markup, well, that's just a waste. Right? Okay, so you got everything that you need. You know how to get in. Same. So 1, 2 touches, 3 touches of warning, 4 touches, we just not doing it. Take profit is 3 to 5 pips above the low or the high, and our stop loss is 3 to 5 pips above the high or the low, and then our take profit is the previous level of consolidation. That's where you get out. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So based on that, you only got 1 session, right? On what we marked out.
Right. So far, you can go in and mark up more.
On what time frame?
Daily. You're gonna mark up on the daily. Because if you do not, that's what I'm saying. A big candle on the daily is a real big candle. A big candle on the 15-minute chart is not a big candle on the daily. It's just, you're scalping. This isn't scalping. You understand what I'm saying? The bigger time frames is more confirmation that that's the move. So you mark up on the daily. Then you come down. You're going to see smaller candles in the zone, but that's the zone. You can be comfortable that's the zone. Yeah.
Just a quick question. After the 3rd and 4th, you said the warning, and if it breaks that level,
Then we start over. It breaks the level. What are we looking for? Sale limit. First touch. Sale.
On the warning, are we still entering in a trade or? Just...
I don't enter on the warning.
That's what I was asking.
I don't enter on the warning.
That's what I was asking. On the warning, I mean, once it breaks, actually, yeah.
Well, once it breaks, it's not a warning. It's a break.
Gotcha.
A warning is I went deeper into the zone.
Yeah.
I didn't break the zone, but that 100 pips that you thought you got away from, well, now I'm going to eat your 100 pips up before I turn around. That's all that is. It's just a warning. It didn't break. It just went deeper in there. Yes.
So, don't put in potential news that can affect the markets and stuff like that.
Put in what now?
That doesn't go into your strategy.
Oh, yeah. The news is going to push the market in the direction it's already going to go. That's it. So do I want to know if there's news for my pair? Yeah, I do. Beginning of the week. Okay, how much U.S. news and red folders is it? Right, Forex Factory. I mean, Euro USD. If you're in Europe, like I like GU, right? So I'm looking at the U.S. dollar too. So what happens is, what I like to do, I like to follow the dollar index. Because on the dollar index is DXY. Okay, so if you're on TradingView, type in DXY. Right? I'll just pick that one. Type in DXY. And this is only the dollar. It's either going up or going down. What has the dollar done? You see, I already got a markup on the dollar. What did the dollar do? It was coming down, right? So my GU was doing what? Going up. All things GU, right? Then what happened? Okay, now let's look at this. This is let me go on the daily. Go on the daily. Okay. So you see I got a couple of trend lines in there, right? A steeper one, and I got the overall one. You see that? This is the overall one. So the dollar broke through here, but it can still be making its way down to here. See that? Okay. So we here. I started here. I believe this is a touch, and I believe that's a touch. That's 2 touches in it.
No problem, go ahead.
When I get here, this was a touch, And then it didn't really go nowhere. You see that? This third touch to this trend line right here. Y'all see that? Could you have gotten in there? I mean, it's the dollar. You can't just trade the dollar.
Right.
But I'm just saying, for the sake of the theory about the trading is the same. It applies to all of the indicators. It applies. But it's the third touch. The fourth touch, what did it do? It broke through.
Wait a minute, how's that a third touch?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Third and fourth ones are
Okay,
both
so you're counting from, because that's 2 trend lines.
It's 2 trend lines, but okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that's-
So we start here. 1. We start here. Let's just the dollar by itself. 1, 2. Okay. So now I gotta think. What kind of candle is this?
There's bearish engulfing.
What does bearish engulfing mean?
It's gonna go down.
We're like in a supply zone. You like don't forget your concepts. You guys understand? Don't forget that bearish engulfing is bearish engulfing. No matter where you see it on the daily, it's bearish engulfing. The bank is pushing price down. So even though this might have been the second touch, I got a clear indication that that's a sell zone. So I'm gonna wait. Do you see what I'm saying? Pull all your concepts together. Rules of thumb are rules of thumb, but don't ignore the other rules. Okay? So yeah, I could get in on a buy, except I've got a bearish engulfing, except this looks like a what? Head and shoulders. And head and shoulders push the market which way? Down. Inverted head and shoulders push the market which way? So if I see this, head and shoulders, I'm not getting on the buy right there. I'm not getting on the buy right there because of that. I'm not getting on the buy right there because it's a bearish engulfing. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just gonna wait. And I'm gonna wait till what? The breakthrough, and what is it trying to do right now? Retest. Wait on that retest. And sell limit.
Wouldn't it, if it completes it, that'll be your other shoulder?
Well, we already have the shoulder right here.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, kind of like here. It's the day right here. And we broke through now. We broke through. So now we're gonna go to the retest. So if you're looking, okay, so now we're looking at Euro USD. Right now, we're expecting the dollar to keep kind of going up a little bit, but we're expecting the dollar to hit the trend line and go down. If we're expecting the dollar to hit the trend line and go down, that means we're expecting Euro USD to do what? Go up. So now if I'm comparing this with Euro USD, well, now I can see this is almost an inverted of what I just saw on the dollar, isn't it?
Yes.
Now I have an inverted head and shoulders. Now I'm gonna do what? This thing might go down a little bit and then do what? Go up. Do you guys see what I'm saying? You're putting it together. You're putting it together. So now it's not like, well, maybe it could come to Trump. It could do that. But based on this pattern and what the dollar is doing together, my expectation would be that this is going to go up once we get down to this line down here. Because by the time this gets down to here, maybe that's when the dollar is up at the trend line. You guys see what I'm saying? And so you got to watch it. But that's my expectation.
And could you not do another buy zone right there because you've got it in open?
You could do that. But we already at the top of that zone, aren't we? If I would have boxed this up, Bonnie, you're right. But if I would have boxed up this engulfing candle right here, aren't I already there? Pretty much, right? So now, but the market's closed, so you can't go in there and put no sell limit in it. You gotta wait. Wait till what? Well, you gotta wait till Sunday, Monday, see what's gonna happen, right?
Wait 2 hours.
Wait a couple hours. Oh, the U.S. banks are closed. The market can still be open. So now you need to wait. You see what I'm saying? Because the U.S. banks are closed. It's not going to be that much volume from the U.S. banks. But during London session, I don't know what's going to be happening. Banks ain't open in the U.S. anyway during London session. Yes, sir.
You wait to start trading like Tuesday or
Really, I'm going to start because I'm going to start waiting. I will trade every day. Like I lost on my GA trade last Sunday, right? And it was because it was going through a correction, and then it took me out and it went in the direction I wanted to go. It was like in that third phase, and it was a warning, and it, you know, boom, boom, took me out, and I over leveraged because I was certain of the move, but I shouldn't have got in on the Sunday, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited, right? If I had waited, then I would have had my move because Tuesday, everything went exactly as I thought it was going to be, but I was mad and I didn't look at the trades at all. Yeah, now the reason why we wait Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is because those are the days that get the most pips. Where's my phone? Just sorry. Let me see this for a second. I'm going to give you guys access to a photo that, those of you online, this is on my phone, okay? You guys aren't going to see this. This is on my phone. But I'm going to give you guys access to a photo that Oren put together that he had at the Super Saturday here in Atlanta, okay? I wish I could plug this up some kind of way, but I can't. But this is a chart, okay? And this chart over here, it says the pair. It has Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is the 3 columns in yellow. It shows you the number of pips that the market moves on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Does the market move on Sundays and Mondays? Yes. But it moves more distance on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you were gonna get in and if you wanted to get more pips, your higher probable time to get in would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for example, we're on Euro USD. On Sundays, Euro USD moves about 69 pips total for the whole day. On Monday, 109 pips. On Tuesday, 142 pips, Euro USD. On Wednesday, 136 pips. On Thursday, 145 pips. And then on Friday, it's down to 144 pips. But Sunday, 69 pips for the whole day versus 142 pips on Tuesday, 136 pips on Wednesday, and 145 pips on Thursday. Why even play around on Sunday? Just wait till Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's why we wait. Volatility. Okay? And now make sure you guys get that chart. All right? So the very good observation here, Bonnie. This is a demand zone, right? Great. Now, price is coming down in here. What are we expecting it to do? We're expecting it to come in here and turn around and go back up. Go up to where, Bonnie?
So looking at that, it would be you're in consolidation, one level up.
So right here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly right. So if I were to calculate pips, if this thing came in at the top of this zone and I calculated right there, Bonnie, that's 130 something pips. So this is why you mark up on the debt so you can see. So you can see. You stay in the trade until then. You know it's good until then. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you're not comfortable with that, then okay, you want to go down to the hour? Go ahead and go down to the hour. Go ahead and go down to the hour and let's see how it compares, right? So boom, now we look, this is our first touchdown here, isn't it? On the hour, right?
Yeah.
So looks like we already missed the move though. You see on the hour, we can see we missed it. Everybody see that? It hit the zone and it's already going up. So now, what do we do, team? Wait until it retests what? Think. What we missed it here, right?
Yeah.
So now we're not coming back down here right now. So what are we waiting for?
Break through that next
Breakthrough here. And then retest. Got it. Break through the support resistance line. This white line I got right there.
She had three markers.
that I already had it marked. We just marked Euro USD up today. So you can see what I'm saying? Break and retest. I missed my entry down. This is my ideal entry, right? Ideally, here's the other thing. I'm gonna come right to it. If you get in a trade in the demand zone, for example, then, oh, wait a minute. Is this supply zone or demand zone? Oh, it was the wrong color. It's a demand zone. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm like, we had a bearish engulfing a bullish engulfing candle. Why is this color? There we go. Okay. My life is thrown out. So rule is if you get in a demand zone, if you want to wait, you ride it to the supply zone. Because it's going to go from zone to zone. Zone to zone. If you get in that demand, you can ride it to supply. If you get in that supply, you can ride it to demand. But this is a demand zone kind of in the middle. Y'all see that? This demand zone is kind of in the middle. If I go to 4-hour chart, this is kind of in the middle, isn't it? Right? It's kind of in the middle of our main, but don't we have another supply zone right here? 4-hour supply zones are cool too. 1-hour supply zones, not really confirmation. 4-hour and daily, those are good zones, right? So I got a supply zone right here. So that bearish engulfing. I got a supply zone right here. So when I say supply zone, I'm not talking about the one we drew before. I'm talking about the next supply zone. Just like I said, previous level of consolidation, the next supply zone. So if I were going to get into this could be our take profit point from a previous level of consolidation standpoint, right? But if I were going to have a little bit of patience and I was going to draw this thing up and I was going to say, well, I really have a supply zone right here, right? It's not perfect at this moment, but I got a supply zone right here. I could just wait for price to come up here. You understand? And then there you go. So you guys see it's the same thing over and over again, right? So if I were going to go past, so this would be like take profit 1, and then that's what? Take profit 2. When it come out of that zone, I'm going to expect that thing to come down. But look, how many touches? We got like 1 touch, kind of 2 touches. It's 2 touches, but it's really still 1 move. You see what I'm saying? It's 2 touches, but it's still 1 down move. So if it came back up here again, I'll probably be selling. I'll be confident in another selling right now. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Okay. Guys online, what I said was, see, we got this supply zone right here. It's a bearish engulfing. So price came up, it touched it once. You could have got in then. But if you're in then, you would just stay in because that next time really wasn't another time. It's just, these are all red candles. Y'all see this? It didn't come down and then come back up. It just kind of came down and went back up there and then came back down again. It's all red candles. This is 1 move. Okay? So I would get in here on the sale limit. And if I were in it, we'd be riding this down to what? This zone. And what did it do at the zone? It's turning around. Do y'all see that? It's turning around at the zone. That's why your take profit would be at the top of the zone. So now we're on the 1 hour. We can see it came down there. Y'all see that? It went in the zone. Your take profit would have been at the top, would have got out. Fine. It went down, and then turned around and it came up. If you want to get in again, you need to now wait for a retest. But I wouldn't get in on a retest down here. I would wait until the retest up here. You guys see what I'm saying? In other words, people on the internet, I wouldn't get in on the zone right here at the top of my zone. I would wait until it closed above. I was closed above this white line. Then I would get in on the buy. Okay? And go to where? Go to my zone. Okay? Is that making sense? Chat people, y'all good? Y'all good? Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
We're still on hour.
This is the hour. So this is why we draw it up on the daily, but you can see more detail on the hour, can't you? You can see like, dang, okay, if I'm on the daily, I'm thinking, oh man, we haven't even hit the zone yet. Remember I said, well, you can't get in it now because the market, but I come to the hour, we have hit it. We missed it. So now we gotta wait. Okay? Here's the last piece of the magic, guys. Last piece of the magic. So now you get in, you can see this is the inverted head and shoulders, right? It took the market up. Okay, great. So now, let's just deal with this area right in here. See this area right in here? See the zone? This area right in here, where the green candles are. Y'all see that?
Yes.
So now, so let's say, right here, this candle closes above, it comes down, it retests, and we miss it. Like we missed this right here. We missed it. So what we gonna do? We're gonna do this same thing. We're gonna wait until it closes above here, does what? Retest, and then we're gonna get in again. Okay? Now, if you want to, let's say right here, we missed it though, right? We missed it. And we saw the move started from down here though. Y'all with me so far? The overall, like it swung down, and then it started down here. We weren't gonna get into up here because we needed confirmation. It's still moving, but we needed confirmation, okay? So it comes down, we wait for it to break out, so we're not looking to get in until right here, but we miss it. If we miss it, then now what we can do is we can measure our swing low and our swing high using Fibonacci. This is just the third piece to the whole puzzle I'll tell you guys about. We drew the chart, y'all got entry point. If we miss the entry point, we can find the pullback. Stevenson, the flag, right? We want to know how far is this thing going to pull back so we can get back in. Or if you want to put another position in. So you're in, you didn't miss it. You're in right here. But now you see it's a pullback and it dang near came back to where you got in at. You need some compensation for that, right? So if you're in right here, you go up all these pips and it comes back down and now you're only up 2 pips. But 4 hours ago, you was up 40 pips. You need to be compensated for your loss. You understand what I'm saying? It's like make up time. People go to work, got to make up the time you missed. I made this money, but I didn't close out because my take profit's up there. That's fine. But when it comes back down, I'm not going to get nervous and close out. I'll just, what I want to do is I want to measure to see when it's going to come back down, how far, and I'm going to put it in a second position. So now I got my first position going, but I got a second position going. And now as we go up this time, I get 20 cents versus 10 cents. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'll leave for a second. So what we need to do is we have to identify our swing low and our swing high. Sorry, just a minute, please. So what identifies a swing low? You see this came down and it stopped, turned around, went the other way. A swing low is when you have a low point, but the previous 2 candles were above that low point, and the next 2 candles after were above that low point. In other words, you look at your fingers like this, the middle finger is the top. These 2 fingers are below, and these 2 fingers are below. This is the swing. This is the swing high going up, but it's the swing low going down. Same rule, okay? Yeah. So if I see, so in other words, you're like, well, how far is this market gonna go down? And this thing keeps going, you see this green candle, and then you see another green candle that does not go below that candle, you know that's the swing low. Okay? So now we're gonna measure though, because we see the swing low, but we didn't even get into up here anyway. So it's fine. But now we see a pullback coming, and we're like, wait, we need a swing low and a swing high. We need a top and a bottom to measure, don't we? So this is our bottom. We need a top. Right in here, we don't have a top, do we? It's still going. And then this happens. And then we see this next candle comes down. You guys are online. What I'm saying is right here. Hold on. I'm going to forget about you guys. What I'm saying is, we came down. This created our swing low right here. This area, this wick is the low. Why? Because 2 candles before that were higher, and the 2 candles after it were higher. If you don't have 2 candles before and after, you do not have a confirmed swing low or swing high. Do you understand? You need 2 candles before and 2 candles after to have a confirmed swing low. Now I have my low, but this thing is still going up. So it's gonna go up till where? Well, until I have 2 candles that's now below the higher one. So the price keeps moving, it moves, and then it starts to hit this trend line up here. This support resistance line, and it reacts. It doesn't break that line, does it? It pushes off that line, and it turns around and goes the opposite way. Okay. So then we close, this candle closes, and then this next candle closes. But did this candle close below that support line? It didn't close below it. So we have a good indication now that this thing is getting ready to turn around and keep going. It wouldn't need to close below that line for me to think that now it's still going to go into a sell. It didn't close below. But now what I have is I have a confirmed swing low and I have a confirmed swing high, don't I? What we do is we grab our Fibonacci. And we start at our swing low and we go up to our swing high. Everybody got that so far? Fibonacci. This is a little bit more advanced, but I wanted to give y'all a good bang for the buck. If you take what I taught you already, you're good. This is just forward thinking, okay? So I started here, and I went up to there. That's my swing, right? I swung low, then I swung high. And then price did what? Came down to about 50%. Do y'all see that? Yeah. It's kind of hard to see the numbers. Hold on one second. If I move it like this, you can kind of see it better.
Sure. We can do that. Yeah.
Okay, y'all see? The price came down to where? 50%. Ideally, anywhere between 38.2 line, 50% line, and 61.8 line is a good indication for us to get in on a second position. Y'all with me? I know it's kind of your toast right now. Y'all toast? Okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Okay, online people, you got it. All right, and we'll go into more details on this. We've got this thing recorded. It's all good. All right, so did you guys get some value from this today? Was it worth your $20 today? All right, online, guys, did you get some value from the MBA workshop today? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so now, all right, awesome, guys. So this is recorded. I'm gonna make sure that you guys get it, okay? And we're gonna be okay. In fact, let me go ahead and stop the recording now.